podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Beyonce Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass
BoxingVoice.com.
and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at it, like, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. The hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another jam-packed edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Very early in the morning at the 15-hour mark, we will be bringing you world-renowned trainer, upset specialist. They're calling him a genius. Sugar Hill Steward will be on the program in about 12 minutes to talk about his big-time win, if not the biggest win on his career, with Tyson Fury knocking out Deontay Wilder. We'll also have a few other guests: Jermaine Franklin, American heavyweight, and Kevin Cunningham, world-renowned trainer of Erickson Lubin, and others. He has a new fighter who we also scheduled as well. He won't be on today, but he's got a fight coming up, and we're going to have him on the show as well. So we got a jam-packed show. Outside of our daily guests, which we try to have a minimum of 2 in a 5-day week, we're going to be talking about Eddie Hearn naming 3 potential opponents for Anthony Joshua if Tyson Fury fight doesn't happen. We got some audio on that, and I'll get right to it before I get out to my co-host in Corpus Christi, Texas. Don't forget to call in. The number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. And don't forget, you could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. And, basically talk some boxing absolutely free.
Options for Joshua, obviously number 1 would be this mandatory with Usyk.
Yeah, but Usyk's got to beat Chisora.
Right, okay. So
But if we don't fight Fury or Wilder, if he wins, in December, we will fight Alexander Usyk. Or Derek Chisora.
Who becomes the mandatory?
It's not a final eliminator, but if you beat number 1, generally you'll take the number 1 spot.
I'm surprised Chisora never fought Joshua, are you? I know they're kind of
I think that his resurgence came a little bit later. You know what I mean?
Well, there's some of the audio. We'll get back to it. Don't want to get flagged. Courtesy of IFL, Coogan Cash is doing a great interview with Eddie Hearn in the drive or during their drive. But let's go out to Corpus Christi. Good morning, Mr. Manguilla.
It's me, Mario.
What is up? What is up? Yeah, man. I saw this, and it is pretty interesting. I mean, like, look, we all know what we want, but if the options are presented to us in this kind of fashion, it makes me feel a little better, because I always feel like promoters and those within boxing that control the sport treat us like idiots so much of the time. During that whole Floyd Mayweather not fighting Pacquiao fiasco, I felt like they were treating us, I felt like he and his team were treating us specifically like the biggest morons in the world. Like we didn't know what fight we wanted. Like this was like the fights he was fighting were supposed to be the fights that we wanted. And so, for us to have at least a glimpse into what the camps are thinking and the opponents that we're hearing, I'm okay with them. I'm okay with them because they're being straight up. They're being honest with us. And at the end of the day, those are all really, really tough fights. You know, is it the big fight that we want? No, but we've seen that those fights can't get secured. So definitely excited about that. Definitely excited to talk to Sugar Hill. Yeah, man, let's chop it up.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess share some of that excitement with the listeners. What are the 3 options being named?
So, well, we just heard the audio. One of them was Alexander Usyk, and for me, that one is not. No, I'm not even gonna say that because I'm gonna get killed. To me, that one's a really good option. It's about as okay as I can feel not getting Fury, Joshua or Joshua Wilder. Obviously, if depending on who wins. But I guess we're talking about Joshua specifically. I'm okay with that. If he doesn't get the winner and we get Usyk instead, I'm okay with it. I shouldn't be because enough's enough, and the heavyweight division has the potential to bring boxing back. So that's the thing is, what's worth more at this point, and what is gonna bring us out of this hole, boxing, and that's what's on the line. So when these guys don't fight each other, when these guys don't match up, when these guys don't finalize contracts, we get put in situations like they don't understand that this is for all of boxing. This is to bring the whole sport up. They have the opportunity to put it on their shoulders. And so when the best fight the best, it raises the profile of the sport altogether. But Usyk was one. He did mention Chisora, and the third option was Dillian White. So, for me, I think Dillian White is long overdue. And so that doesn't really bother me either. You know what I mean? So as upset as I should be that there would be no Fury. Listen, okay, look, I'm going to break it down to brass tacks too, though. Hearn is putting this stuff out there, but we all know that Fury Joshua, if Fury wins, is going to happen. I'm positive it is going to happen. There's no way the rest of this year goes by without those two meeting in the ring with gloves on in front of a packed house. It's just not, it's going to happen. But I think he's covering his nut here. You know what I mean? He's covering his nut. He's making sure that the options are out there, and that's his job. It just so happens that he mentioned 2 of the greatest options that there could be. And so
two of the greatest? Who are those 2 greatest options?
Usyk and Dillian White. Those are great fights. I can't think of any other fights other than the Fury that I would want.
I mean, Usyk doesn't deserve a shot. It's not. It can't be considered a great fight. He's done absolutely nothing. The sanctioning bodies are ridiculous. They continue to rank him above people that have actually won real heavyweight fights versus real heavyweight contenders, not versus Chaz Weatherspoon. The last time he's been even semi-relevant, probably lukewarm, has been almost 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, the Seth Mitchell days. So, it's just a slap in the face to real boxing fans. It's just showing us that they don't care about us, they only care about the casual. To try and say that this dude could get having his first fight at heavyweight versus a dude that was ranked 300, and all of a sudden you're number 1 in multiple sanctioning bodies. I mean, it's just damn right disrespectful. But I'll tell you what, it is not a great fight. I won't lie and say it's a great fight. But I can't wait till they put him in there with a real heavyweight so they can knock his fucking block off, because there's so much hype around this dude. And maybe he was decent at cruiserweight, but in heavyweight, this dude is going to get put in a box.
Well, the heavyweight division could definitely do that to you. That said, though, I would agree with you like 99.9%.
Let me just answer this guy right here. Michael, he ain't doing what Crawford did. Crawford went and took on one of the up-and-coming champions. He took on a belt holder. That's not what Usyk doing. After he took on a belt holder, he at least fought a dude that's been fake campaigning at welterweight. Don't compare Crawford to Usyk. You know what I mean? Like, Usyk ain't done nothing at heavyweight. At least Crawford is attempting to do something at welterweight. He also fought Kavaliauskas as mandatory. How many motherfucking times has Usyk rescheduled his fight? Man, please, bro. Y'all bugging. And all he doing is picking 600 ranked dudes. Murat Gassiev, who's already a duty beat at cruiserweight. Like, man, please. This dude is Fraud status alert. I'm not saying he's a fraud. I'm saying it's fraud status alert. We need to be watching out. Why has he been at heavyweight over a year and ain't fight nobody? Why has his heavyweight fights been all rescheduled? Why is he trying to fight cruiserweights or Joey DeVaco and things like that? No. Great my ass.
No, listen, it's funny because normally I would agree with you. It's wrong to have the sanctioning bodies jump and skip guys just because someone from a lower division comes up that was killing it or representing their belt with pride or paying them their fees that they wanted, whatever. You're absolutely right. In this case, you're absolutely wrong. You know, you have a history of this type of abuse that takes place. So it subjugates you to believe that this is that type of abuse that takes place no matter what. I would agree with you. Usyk hasn't done anything at the heavyweight division. I mean, who would make that argument? Nobody. Okay. But to say that you believe that his run at cruiserweight, which could be the greatest run of all time, he could end up stacking against the history of that division, and that could be his last run at cruiserweight, or his final fights could be the greatest momentum ever shifted in a single division. So for you to just dismiss that, it's not okay. I mean, you're talking about a guy who could very well be pound for pound at some point, or at least within the discussion, or at least within the top five. You know, so for you to say that you're not interested to see that kind of talent take on the likes of Joshua or take on the likes of Dillian White or take on the likes of
stop
Chisora,
being long-winded. Did
I'm
he
not
show
being
you?
long-winded.
Did
I'm
he
trying to
show you
explain
that
to you.
talent? Did he show you this fucking world level talent? This. I mean, you're using words here to mesmerize the audience and lull them to sleep. Did he show you any of that in the fucking Weatherspoon fight? No.
No.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So all I said is fraud status alert. Let's just be on the lookout. Make sure this guy's not fake.
Wilder didn't show me any of it in the Fury fight.
And that's fine.
And Joshua didn't show it to me in the Ruiz fight.
But look at
so people have those types of fights.
No, you falling.
And you need to let me get off. No.
You're only helping my argument, bro. You just said Wilder didn't show it in the Fury fight. An elite level fighter in his division that's arguably now number one. Before the fight it was arguably 1 and 2. Like, you can't compare Fury to Witherspoon, bruh. Witherspoon is withering away.
I'm not comparing him. What I'm saying is that those fights happen to great fighters. Okay, yeah, the Chaz Witherspoon fight was not the test of all tests. And he didn't look great, but I will tell you that in and of itself does not take away from what he did at cruiserweight, and it doesn't take away from the from the damage that he can do at heavyweight. This guy's got real talent. If he doesn't have a great heavyweight career,
talent, he couldn't even stop a 600 ranked
because
dude.
he's gonna. It's too late to develop that size that he needs to compete in a super heavyweight era. You know, that's the problem. But to be able to look at him. To be able to look at his fights against Gassiv or Breedes or Huck, and to look at these fights and say, this guy doesn't have a special thing about him. There's not something unique about him. You know, am I going to throw him in the Manny Pacquiao, thing? No, I'm not going to say that he looks
I know
like Manny
what's
Pacquiao,
unique,
but he has something special.
He's a special kind of mover in the heavyweight division. He likes to move a lot. That's what's special about him. You know what I mean? That's what's unique. That in the heavyweight division where you're supposed to stand and bang, my man wants to, ice skate.
Yeah, I guess Sanchez missed that memo when he became a heavyweight, but
who?
What's his name? Sanchez from the PPC card, for the Fox card this weekend. The Cuban.
I mean, he didn't become a champ. He didn't become a champ.
All I'm saying is that...
And that's an indictment. I mean, you keep using bad examples. You're talking about a dude that decided to run around the ring with a journeyman. No disrespect to Joey DeVaco, but,
good,
with all the names on his resume, how many of those names has DeVaco beat? I'm being fair.
You know what it is? I'm not a casual fan, so, like, it's not like I only like one type of fight. I like a lot of different types of fights. So I could look at a guy like Usyk, and then I could look at a guy like Chisora, and I could respect what they both do in the ring. And I can tell you that, look, again, I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world, but I can tell you when I look at Usyk, I see something special. And there's only one more division to go up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't hate on what he's doing. Like, you want to hate on people, hate on
Dude, just try not to compare what he's done at cruiserweight to what he's doing at heavyweight. You still talking about old news?
I won't do that. I'm not trying to do that. If I sound like I'm doing that, then I apologize because I made a mistake. But the issue here is not whether or not Usyk, should fight these fights. He should fight these fights. He should take these opportunities, just like you would, just like I would, just like any person listening right now would take these
Mr.
opportunities.
Munguia.
You gotta hate the game.
Sorry to interrupt you, brother.
Go ahead.
We got our first guest, Sugar Hill Steward. Mr. Steward, how are you? Good morning. Thank you once again for coming on the program and just talking some boxing with us. Obviously, I'm going to start off. My first question is, do you think you'll receive Trainer of the Year for this win with Tyson Fury stopping Deontay Wilder?
I guess that's a pretty good question that I've been asked or it's been thrown out there, but the same answer that I always give, I don't know, and I don't even care really about that. Never even thought about it until somebody else said it, like you just asked me now. So, yeah, it's nothing that I think about, and it doesn't really cross my mind like that. My job is just to my job, and what I like to do is to win. I like to teach, train, and win.
Hey, Mr. Stewart, this is Marty McGee. I was just wanting to congratulate you first and foremost, but I'm going to get right into what I really wanted to ask. Since I've known you were going to be a guest, we've seen a lot of stuff on Wilder and him, changing changing corners, talks with George Foreman, stuff like that. What do you think, in your opinion? Obviously, you're not in that camp. Obviously, you can't say specifics. But do you think it's a mistake? Do you think that something like Foreman could help him? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I'll have to say, what are the latest rumors? Because I don't keep up with all of it.
The latest rumors are, that George Foreman reached out to Wilder, and that Wilder says that he is considering teaming up with Foreman. There's been obviously rumors that he was getting rid of Breland. Then there was a report by Dan Rayfield that he is in fact keeping Breland. But the media, the fighters and fans have been recommending cleaning house, similar to most fighters when they take a loss. Like, oh, he needs to get rid of J. Diaz. Oh, even Floyd Mayweather said, I can teach him how to beat Fury. So everyone's offering their services. And I guess we just want to know, what do you think about a possible trainer switch for Wilder and just everyone wanting to train him now?
I think it's funny, the last thing you said, everybody wanting to train him now. Yeah, so I guess that wasn't in the picture before the loss he had. It was people reaching out and wanting to train him now. That now that he's lost, and now everybody wants to reach out and train him and help him now. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much normal in life. When somebody has a downfall, everybody wants to reach out and now tell you how to do it or how it should be done, or as far as him reaching out to other and looking for a whole new team, I can only say that I'm recalling Deontay Wilder saying in interviews that you ain't got a whole new team. You got this, you got talking about Tyson Fury, and now the shoe is on the other foot now, where he has to go out and I remember Tyson telling him, well, yeah, I want to go get the best this, I want the best that, I put this together, this is a business. So now I guess maybe if that's the case with Deontay Wilder, then that's what he has to do. He has to go out and put the best things that he wants in place that's going to help him with his career. And I would just say, yeah, I guess when Tyson Fury's talking, Deontay Wilder's listening. So it worked out for Tyson. Maybe it'll work out for Deontay Wilder. But I don't see anything wrong with it if that's what they need to do, or he feels is best for him to do. It would be smart if that's what he feels is. If he feels there's a problem and things like that, it would be smart for him to make those changes and not try to stick with the same thing that didn't work.
Now,
how's that for a good answer?
Oh yeah, no. Now, based on what happened in the first fight, do you believe that the reports that the fight could take place as early as July is a mistake for Deontay to take, considering how much damage he took in that first fight? Can he recover in time?
I mean, you can look at it as far as his health. I mean, yeah, if it was my fighter and I had control of that situation, I wouldn't be looking to take a fight so soon like that. You know, looking at the way it happened in the first time, you know, not the first time, but on February 22nd, you know, so soon away, I would, you know, I would definitely, you know, feel like taking some time to heal and to better myself physically and mentally. So yeah, I'm forgetting the second question that you asked me. Sorry about that.
No. You answered it perfectly. I was just wondering if you thought, because a lot of people think that it was too soon, that he should have waited to exercise the contract, and that July is definitely too soon. But you answered that perfectly.
Okay, yeah. So the second part of my question I was going to answer was that, you know, by him taking the fight so soon, I mean, it has its pros and cons from a business perspective. That, you know, maybe if I mean, you have options, and these are duplicative options and things that are thought about, and you have to think about these things. Okay, so you take the fight they just had and say, oh, he needs to wait. Maybe he needs to get a couple of tune-up fights, you know, and practice and get better, and then, you know, maybe take that rematch fight, which I've heard people say as a suggestion. Well, yeah, that sounds good and all that, but then you have to look at it in a different view and say, so if he takes that fight and then he doesn't improve, then the third fight with those guys is totally shot period, and it doesn't have any interest if he goes out there and doesn't look up to par, or, you know, as to, you know, making that third fight, you know, such a spectacular fight as the second fight was. So it's no real right or wrong answer, I guess. You know, in a sense, it's just, you know, the best decision has to be made, and one of those decisions, you know.
He hit that FaceTime button by mistake. Shit, I'm gonna have to call him back. He tried to FaceTime us on by mistake. Oh shit! Now I'm FaceTiming him back by mistake.
So far though, wow, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get up in there. I got a little.
I got you. Just a couple sound bites that he gave us that, you know, worked pretty well for us.
All right, we got him back.
Sorry, everybody. These iPhones are not like the old BlackBerry phones where it didn't have a touch screen. This would have never happened.
So I want to ask, Sid, I guess in comparison, who do you think took the worst beat down? Did Anthony Joshua or did Deontay Wilder? Because when Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz, there were dozens of people coming out telling him to clean house and he should change trainers. And, you know, the same advice that Wilder is getting, people were giving AJ, and he took the immediate rematch, you know. So did you feel he shouldn't have took that immediate rematch as well?
Well, to be totally honest, I never saw the immediate rematch of Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. So I've only heard about it, but haven't actually looked at it myself. So I mean, I would say his rematch worked out in his favor because he actually won that fight. The rematch with Deontay Wilder. I mean, with Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, his worked out in his favor. I don't know the extent of injuries or anything that Anthony Joshua suffered physically or mentally in his first fight with Andy Ruiz. I'm gonna watch it though. Now that you mention it, I want to see the difference.
Oh, you never watched
because
that.
they kept saying that they kept saying that Anthony Joshua. I remember after the fight, the second fight, they kept saying Anthony Joshua was fighting the crunk style. He's fighting the crunk style. He's fighting like a crunk fighter. He's fighting all. Everybody was saying something about crunk. That's what people were telling me, and I just didn't actually go and look at it because I've heard all that. And then somebody said he wasn't really a crunk style, so I never even bothered to look at the fight. But I think I will go watch it now since I'm asked this question by you.
So do you think a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who's never trained, or George Foreman, who's never trained, can really get into a gym and teach Deontay Wilder specifically something, if not enough, to beat Tyson Fury?
That would be interesting to see. Maybe they can both be on the same team. Floyd Mayweather and George Foreman could be in the corner as well, both of them, along with Mark Breland and a cut man. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
So you welcome the challenge.
Mark Breland is back, and they want to.
You welcome in the challenge of all those boxing minds, huh?
Yeah, why not?
But give me your honest opinion. How good do you think Floyd and George could be as a trainer?
I think they could be, very good and instrumental as trainers. They both have resumes that's, beyond the average person, beyond a regular champion, actually. Those guys, George Foreman, he was an analyst, along with being an Olympic gold medalist and the world champion, and coming back and winning the world championship later on in his life again. And Floyd Mayweather for being an undefeated fighter. And I've always thought about Floyd Mayweather as probably one of the most intelligent fighters ever. Yeah, that's what I've always thought about him, because I watch him fight and things like that. So I'm sure he would have some knowledge to offer. Now, the only problem is that, these fighters, they can fight themselves and they can teach, but it all just boils down to them being able to teach actually somebody, and to be able to get through to that person, as a teacher does in school for her class, for his or her class. You have to be able to reach that person and not just tell them what to do. Maybe you have to do it in a different way that's unorthodox. But it's all a part of just getting that person to learn and understand what you're trying to get through to them. So I don't see anything bad about it. I would like to see him try either one of them, or some of the other champions that have been, suggested of helping him train, or have some kind of idea of helping Deontay Wilder. And that would definitely
Antonio Tarver,
having one of those.
He says he's got the blueprint.
Yeah, having some of those guys in the corner. Having some of those guys, I wish they would tell me what the blueprint is. I wish it would be good for some of those guys to, be involved. He's already gotten, Mark Breland in the corner that's taught him some things that I've noticed over the years since working with Mark Breland. And, if you need to learn more in a different way, maybe somebody else can tell it to you in a different way where you understand it and it clicks. Exactly. It's just all a part of learning. Some people can learn when they're being hollered at under pressure, and some people can learn under a calm atmosphere. It's just everybody's different. You have to know that person. You have to know how to get to that person.
Mr. Hill, I'm going to ask you a serious question here. Have you been receiving any hatred, any negativity, most specifically because you did not train Wilder and instead helped Fury?
No, that's the first time that's even been brought up at all, period. I haven't received anything, haven't heard about anything.
That's great.
I'm not really on social media, so I wouldn't know anything about it if it did, if they did say something about me, in a negative way. But, I don't see that it would be any need for any hatred, because Deontay Wilder had his team and everything was working fine. Tyson Fury wanted to change, and Tyson, Fury reached out to me, and the rest of that is history. So yeah, I wouldn't see any need for any hatred for me not training Deontay Wilder instead of
So you
not training Deontay Wilder.
So you don't feel responsible for killing America's hope?
No, this is a sport, so everybody works. With who they work with. It's not about America. It's not about Britain. It's not about any of these countries as far as the dreams and things like that. These are two top superior athletes in their prime, wanting to be, wanting to compete against each other and win. That's all it's about. It is not as I guess some people threw into there. It was like they were trying to make it into a race thing with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and Tyson killed it. This is two men, and I agree with him 100%. And the same way as for the different countries. This is not a world war or anything like that. This isn't Joe Louis and Max. This isn't
Max Schmeling.
Yeah, this isn't back in those days. Yes, Schmeling. This isn't back in those days when we had a big world war going on, and that fight kind of was for the I don't want to say world dominance, but it had some effect on the way people live and the way people think about each other in different parts of the world. This is just a fight with two giants in the division.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. That was about, country supremacy, and this is just about heavyweight supremacy, which is great. Speaking of heavyweight supremacy, Tyson Fury, on top of the world, and he's recently been talking about retiring after 2 fights, and I just want your opinion. Let's take Joshua and let's take Wilder out of the equation. Let's say he got one of them but didn't get the other. What fighter out there interests you outside of those two that you think matches up well with Fury, that you think would be an exciting fight that you would like to see him in the ring with?
I would say myself. During training camp, Tyson Fury hit me with a right hand, and I owe him back for that. So I would say me and Tyson Fury facing off would be the biggest draw, the biggest attraction for me. So he caught me with a right hand in training camp, and I guess when he caught me with the right hand, I caught him. I didn't go down, but I caught him pillow fist, and teased him and laughed at him about it while he was laughing that he hit me. So I don't know of any other heavyweights right now in the division besides Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua that are big enough, big enough of a name, big enough of a resume. That I would see that would be able to compete with Tyson Fury right now. As I've said earlier, I haven't been really watching the heavyweight division as I'm watching now because I do have some interest in it now more than before, and I don't watch boxing all the time. That was something me and Emanuel talked about, years ago, where he would talk to me about a lot of things, and that was one of them. He says he never watched boxing all the time. He watched boxing sometimes, and told me it's because he has to stay, relevant to what's going on and people asking questions and things like that because, that's Emanuel Steward. Everybody wants to know his opinion. So he never really enjoyed sitting down watching boxing all the time because he said he would drive him crazy. He always had some kind of other outlet he liked to do. He liked to go dancing. He likes to cook. He likes to, do other things besides, like baseball. He likes to do other things besides boxing. And I'm the same way. So I don't sit in front of the TV watching boxing all day. I don't be on the internet watching social media and reading articles and things like that all the time, every day, trying to stay relevant to what's going on in boxing. So that's probably a knock on me, but that's just I'm not trying to live my life that way because I do enjoy other things besides boxing, which helps balance me out when I do start back into boxing and training heavily. Then I can give more to it than burning myself out, watching and listening to it all the time and wanting to be some guru. I don't want to be a boxing guru and know everything about it like that, know every little thing in and out. That's not my DNA makeup or anything like that, or characteristics of me. I like to do other things. I like to venture out and try new stuff and, enjoy life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a great answer. Okay, piggybacking off of that and the fact that you said you never saw Joshua Ruiz too, have you done any sort of prep work in your mind for Joshua? I know that Wilder's, firmly planted in front of y'all, but is there anything that you can tell us that maybe just even casually thinking or glancing by a YouTube fight or something, any kind of work that you've done to get, in your mind, get Fury ready for Joshua?
The work that I've done to get Fury ready for Joshua was being directly involved with Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder in the
Absolutely.
rematch. Getting him ready for anybody, whether it's Wilder or Anthony Joshua. The work that we've done in the gym will prepare him for anybody. These are new things that Tyson Fury is doing, and I'm not trying to. I wasn't going in there training Tyson Fury just for Deontay Wilder, so to say. I mean, I was working on him with some things that he needed, that he should have known already, that he should have been doing, and those are the kind of things that prepare you for anybody.
Yeah, Buddy McGirt gave us kind of a similar response the other day too.
So bring them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. What did Buddy say?
He just said that he doesn't watch film, and he prepares fighters in the ring for everyone, for everything. He doesn't watch tape, and he doesn't have like a game plan specific for fighters. That he trains you to be ready for everyone. So no matter who you face on fight night, or if you have a late opponent change, like it'll benefit you in those ways. So it's kind of a similar answer that he gave, and it's really interesting that the top trainers see it that way.
Yeah. How many times do you think I watched Deontay Wilder and then Tyson Fury won? Just a guess.
If you would have asked me that question 20 minutes ago, I would have said like, I don't know, maybe half a dozen to a dozen times. And now I'm guessing once.
I watched it fully one time. And I was I was doing a photo shoot for ESPN. No, you know what? It would have been twice because I had to watch it that time. So I watched it once. Right before I started training him, I kind of watched it, and then I watched it when I think it was ESPN. They were doing an interview in the gym. They wanted me watching the fight, analyze it, talking about it like while I'm watching it during training camp. That was the only 2 times I watched it. We had it playing in the gym during training camp, but I wasn't sitting there watching. It was just something just to kind of glance at, look at sometime. For other members of the camp to watch the fight and things like that. But I never forget, Emanuel was sitting in the living room, and I asked him, I was still training a lot of amateurs then, and I said, I was watching the fights, and I showed him the fight. He was like, oh, that was good. And I came back and showed him a different fight from another kid that we had just went out of town and came back from fighting. I'm showing him all these different clips of, the fight, showing him little parts here and there, and he was like, yeah, and I said, Uncle Maya, I said, how much do you study videos and watching stuff like that? He was like, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of video like that. He said, if I watch somebody for a fight, preparing for a fight, I might watch 3-4 rounds, that's it. I'm not sitting there watching that whole video of this guy fighting over and over again, because what happens sometimes is you're going to start overthinking, overanalyzing this fighter and trying to pick every little thing apart about him. And it's crazy. He's going to fight the other man totally different than he's going to fight you. So how can you sit there and pick apart this guy, what he does? And he threw 3 jabs in the first round. For the last 3 fights, he threw 3 jabs in the first round. Make up some kind of statistician, some kind of stat on everything. And that, it can be done because they do it in every sport now. They come up with some kind of stat. Oh, he was the first player to hit a home run in the first game, the third game, and the 7th game of his career. Oh, wow, a stat. So, yeah, you can start overlooking things sometimes. So that's one reason. And I stopped looking at videos so much after that. I might watch certain little things, but I'm not sitting there watching the whole video over and over and over again. I believe what Emanuel said. Making me crazy. I feel like I'm crazy. And I've had people tell me sometimes after the fight, they say, oh, I just watched the fight, with Adonis Stevenson and Chad Dawson. Now that one I did watch a lot. That was like 76 seconds, so that one was a bit different. But but for people to say they watched like a Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fight, I watched that fight, and this is like the next day they telling me, I watched that fight. I watched it 25 times already, and I'm thinking to myself like, gosh, it just sounds too much for me. It sounds like being funny. It sounds like that person's crazy. Like, how can they watch that 25 times from the night to in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning? You didn't watch it 25 times already. Like, if you can, I'm thinking I could see what happened in a fight one time, not to be watching it 25 times.
Well, Mr. Steward, before we let you go, we got a couple of questions from the people. Some of these might be things we've already asked you, so we'll just read them so they get their, shout out and keep it moving. We got P.G. Darrow, who is asking, what is the deal with the glove and all the controversy?
Oh, can I answer that one?
Well, it is for you.
The deal with the gloves is the gloves were sent to us like Deontay Wilder and every other fighter's gloves are sent in. The gloves are tried on in front of the athletic commission, and the hand wraps are wrapped in front of the athletic commission and also the other team, and the gloves are put on in front of the athletic commission and the other team. So that's my answer.
So what's the answer to the camera going dark? Because, conspiracy theorists are tying that. Camera. Oh, really? Yeah, so if you watch the pay-per-view...
Well, we don't have any... I didn't even hear that one, yeah.
Yeah, so if you watch the pay-per-view, Joe Tessitore says, all right, we're going to go to the Tyson Fury locker room. Then it's like, wait, there's a guy trying to cover the camera in Fury's locker room with his shirt. He just pulled the plug. Look at that guy, Tyson Fury. And that's it. You guys went black. So then, the conspiracy and everybody just tied it together. But moving on. Israel Weber and...
No, that's interesting. I gotta look that up. I gotta look that one up then. Yeah, I'm not worried about no TV. We were sitting there watching TV actually. So if the camera was pulling, it wasn't in front of us. We was watching TV, relaxing before the fight. But go ahead.
They literally showed a Tyson Fury team representative get up on the bench, try to cover the camera with a shirt. It didn't work, and then he just pulled the plug. And Joe Tessitore repeated that. I'm only saying what he said live.
No, I want to see it. I haven't seen that fight yet, really. I know they have different networks, that's showing the different commentators, but I haven't been had privilege to see that. I want to see the whole thing fully. My mom has it, but I haven't been over there to watch it yet.
Yeah, I mean, before I go on to the next question from the people, I just want to ask, do you think this is your greatest win?
I would have to say because of the magnitude of the fight, yes. But I've had some great wins before. Adonis Stevenson, naturally, knocking Chad Dawson out in 76 seconds to take the light heavyweight championship from him and the lineal championship. The man beating the man, and a fight with Jonathan Banks. He fought Seth Mitchell. Now these are the fights that we're supposed to lose. Like this, you're supposed to lose this fight. You don't have a chance, and those are the best fights to win right there when you're the underdog. So I like being the underdog. I like being on top too, but the underdog feels great as well.
All right. We got the next one coming from Oklahoma. Israel Weber says, congrats on the obvious. Sugar Hill, a lot of people suggested Fury switching trainers was a sign of instability, but in hindsight showed it was the best move he could have made. Rumor has it Fury wanted to continue to work with both you and Davidson. You were open to that. Ben was not. Is there any truth to that?
That's 100% true. Yeah, I've said it. Tyson said it. We were to work together, but we were to work together, and that was something that Ben chose not to do. And we are where we are today.
I think it was the right choice. If you watch his fight in the first one, I mean, he was really defensive-minded, telling, Tyson not to get greedy, where obviously the Crunk style is go ahead and put the mittens on him. Yeah. So it makes sense. But we're going on to Osiris Boxing, who says, in the third fight, how will you adapt if Wilder comes in with a better defense?
How would I adapt to Wilder coming in with a better defense? Well, the only thing I could say is to set up shots. That's part of the Crunk tradition. You're setting up your punches regardless of how good a person's defense is. You can't block everything at one time. You can't block the body and the head. If you do, you're not punching, and the referee can stop the fight. All you do is to Oscar De La Hoya and throw about 20, 25, 30 punches real fast, and the referee will jump in and stop the fight. So there is no 100% for sure answer that I could give. Just have to be prepared for everything. So going into these fights, I actually do make sure I prepare my fighters for everything, whether they have good defense, bad defense. I always try to, if they don't have defense, I make sure you have sparring with a person that has better defense than the guy you're fighting. To prepare yourself and to be fully ready. If when I train a fighter, I look at what would I do if I was that fighter, if I was training that other fighter to beat my fighter. That's how I look at it. I just flip it around, and it's been working out pretty good so far.
Ruin of 504 New Orleans. Do you think the jab is the most under-taught and underutilized punch in boxing?
Totally 100% true.
All right. We got Dual Ingram, who says, what was Andy Lee's role in camp? To me, as a fighter, he was basically a middleweight Wilder. So what did he bring?
Andy Lee brings that crunk, and that says everything. Andy Lee and Tyson Fury are cousins. Tyson Fury reached out to Andy Lee first, and then Andy Lee reached out to me, and then Tyson Fury reached out to me, and we're all together. So it's like this is the Crunk family. This is family still.
All right. We got Dempsey, who says, what's one of the biggest lessons from Emanuel Steward that you learned about being a trainer?
Basic boxing. Basic fundamentals of boxing. I can't say anything more, can't say anything less, because that's what I remember him telling me all the time, just those words right there.
Carlito in the UK says, thank you for coming on the Boxing Voice and answering the fans' questions. Congratulations on the easy win. Do it again and you're a shoo-in for Trainer of the Year. What's your thoughts on Wilder's excuses and ability to shift blame to his trainers, the ref, his costume being overweight, etc.?
That's what I say. I just laugh at it. It's all funny. It's all funny, it's all funny to me because, the fight is over and, hearing these things, they're surprises to me to hear such things and to hear, different, reasons of what's happened and, what took place and having a good excuse for it or, some kind of to try to make whatever happened more logical than what really happened, which is which is really pretty simple. I think you mentioned something about the referee.
Yes.
With people mentioned something about the referee being
I'm assuming that was the first fight
with Tyson. Well, I think I read something about the second fight as well. But Tyson Fury was deducted a point for pretty much nothing, and I think it was the fifth round. So I don't know, how the referee helped, Tyson Fury out. I do remember seeing the referee looking at Deontay Wilder and before the seventh round said, "You're going to show me something," and watching him carefully in rounds before that, like the fifth round, looking at him, looking at his eyes, because I could see Deontay Wilder's eyes, and I was looking like, "Oh yeah, pick it up." Pick up the pace. And, Kenny was right there in the ring to see much better than me because I'm sitting here with the corner pad in front of me and the cameraman over here. Well, I can't really see it all. So, I don't know how the referee was, in our favor, and Tyson Fury got the point taken away.
All
so,
right.
this was just, whatever's being said by, and I don't even think all this is being said by Team Wilder. I just think these are a lot of, people just talking and coming up with things now. Because I haven't heard, anything about Deontay Wilder and his team directly, expressing themselves on these things.
All right. Well, we definitely got a good one coming up for you from Aaron White. Sugar Hill, you are a great trainer and much respect. But Fury has a history of failed PD tests and left glove incident footage of Fury's left glove in both fights with Wilder and the Christian Hammer fight. Fury's glove wasn't on properly, in which would give him a clear advantage. Did you at any time notice issues with Fury's left glove?
I've watched videos since they put things on. People are showing this to me. I watched video of the first fight where he's punching, and the punch looks real weird. When I started training Tyson Fury, to me, Tyson Fury was slapping. Those are called slaps. When you hit with the inside of the glove, and that's something that's taught in amateur boxing, where you get points deducted from that. You get warned by the referee, you get points deducted, and you can possibly get disqualified for slapping. So punches should be on the knuckles, and by him not punching on the knuckles, then those are slaps, and that's what that punch is going to look like. It's going to look like a flap, a flimsy floppy or whatever, thing like that.
All right, we got Coyote in the UK who says, so in Detroit-style boxing, there's a thing known as taking away the right hand. Did you implement this strategy when Fury fought Wilder, and can you give us more detail about this technique if it was used?
The strategy and technique for Tyson Fury fighting Wilder is the crunk technique. I'm just going to keep putting it out there. It's the crunk technique. That's the crunk attitude, the crunk style, from Detroit, Michigan, Emanuel, Steward. Be aggressive, go get the knockout. Every time, look for the knockout in every round. Look for it. If you don't look for it, then you're going to miss something, and then you may have excuses for why you didn't win your fight, or you wondering why you lost the fight. And you got too many ifs. If you can be it's better if you were the sole judge of the fight instead of having the three judges at ringside be the judge of the fight. You get the knockout, you're the judge. You don't have to worry about listening to the scorecards, worrying about a bad decision or a robbery or things like that.
All right, we got a few more. I won't even refresh for any late people. We got the Prince of Power. Hey, Coach, why do you think Tyson Fury has gone silent, such as cutting off his comments on social media, now not allowing us to comment? And what's your personal opinion about the glove controversy? Obviously, you've answered the glove controversy, so I guess why do you think Tyson's gone silent and not allowing his fans to comment on his post any longer?
I don't know. For what I've heard, Tyson doesn't really control his site like that, as far as his website. And the real truth is, Tyson Fury's been training. He's done all this hard work. The job is done. That man probably wants a vacation. He don't want to be bothered with all this stuff right now, listening to comments and stuff. Maybe it's good comments, maybe it's bad comments, but it's what we call in America, it's Miller time. It's time to relax. It's time to enjoy time, spend time with the family, and do other things. Training camps are grueling when you're doing 2 months. That's 2 months out of your life, and if you're talking about fighting 2 or 3 times a year, you're talking 4 and 6 months. That's a half a year of your life going away from your family working.
Damn, I've been covering boxing that long. I never even did the math that way. When I beg these fighters to fight 3 times a year, that means they are away from their family. I mean, the disciplined ones anyway, because not everyone's that disciplined to relocate and stuff like that. But that is 6 months out the year, which is half the year. Wow. We got another one from Big Nick.
And that's just with one fighter. Just imagine if you had 2 fighters. Now you're talking about a whole year. If you got 2 fighters and they fight 3 times a year, that's your whole year gone.
Yeah, them checks better be worth it. Big Nick in the UK, congratulations on playing a starring role in a historical victory. Do you think the manner of the defeat will have psychological effects on Wilder? And what improvements can you make to yourself to ensure Fury is best prepared for an improved Wilder?
The improvements I can make on myself for training Tyson Fury is next time he says second round knockout, I need to give him the second round knockout, the plan for the second round knockout instead of a 7th round knockout. And for as far as Deontay Wilder, psychological advantage or disadvantages, Deontay's a strong person, physically and mentally. For him to start boxing this late and to compete against all the top athletes. I remember him in amateur boxing going to the Golden Gloves in Tennessee, and he had just started and he went through everybody. He even went through one of my guys to win that championship. And he's been doing it ever since then, you know, to start boxing so late. And in the heavyweight division, you know, where it's the most dangerous division in boxing because of the size of the guys and the power the power they possess and the weight they carry. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have any problem with Deontay Wilder as far as mentally, you know, being, I don't know, you know, having problems like psychologically and saying, oh, whatever, feeling down about himself. He wants to get back in there and settle the score. He's got that big right hand still. That ain't went nowhere. Don't sleep too close to him. If he's dreaming about something while he's sleeping, he could knock you out while he's sleeping. That's how powerful his hand is.
We got Steve in the UK says, "What's up, Sugar Man? As everyone else is going to ask about Glovegate, I thought I'd change the pace. If you could train one heavyweight, past or present, who didn't win a world title, who would it be and why?"
You know what I would say, and this is because this is a friend of mine. I would say I would train Jamil McCline. Jamil McCline fought for the heavyweight championship 4 times and came up short 4 times. And that's a good friend of mine, so that's who I would train. I would train Jamil McCline to win the heavyweight world championship. Jamil McCline was a big guy, big strong guy, and I feel like I could have helped Jamil McCline win the world championship, and he wouldn't have had to fight for it 4 times. Or maybe I could have helped him on the 4th time. Doesn't matter to me, just as long as I would have been helping him win that world championship.
Well, Mr. Sugar Hill, we got one more coming out of Delaware. Jemmy, who says, "Congratulations, long live the Crunk style. And if you beat Wilder again and AJ in December, you definitely should be Trainer of the Year. Best of luck and thank you for coming on the show." No question, just thanks. Thanks, Jemmy.
Thank you too, Jimmy.
Well, Mr. Hill, I want to thank you, obviously, for taking out the time to come on the show. Thank you once again. Truly appreciate you giving us an opportunity to get you on the program. I know it's early in the morning, so we appreciate it. You don't really do social media, so if you want to give out any social media, I guess you can. If not, thanks again for the time.
No, I'll give out my social media. It's Crunk Sugar Hill. What is it? Crunk Sugar Hill? I don't even know how to say it, huh?
Crunk Sugar
Crunk
Hill.
Sugar
It's
Hill on Instagram.
Yeah. It's common spell.
On Instagram.
Common spell Crunk Sugar Hill with a KRONK SUGARHILL. I'm screen sharing it actually as we're doing the interview.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Hey, now I'm back on social media.
There you go, man. I want to know, before we let you go, have you gotten any new offers? Have the offers come in like, please train me? Can you train my guy? We need you. Nothing yet?
I can't say no, nothing yet. There's been offers and
so
things,
you telling me Andy Ruiz reached out?
Getting phone calls.
Andy Ruiz reached out, didn't he?
I didn't say Andy Ruiz.
He's looking for a trainer. We heard the rumors.
Somebody mentioned that to me about Andy Ruiz. I don't remember who it was, but somebody did mention that to me just as far as a conversation, like somebody reaching out, different people reaching out.
What would you do? Would you ask Fury if it would be okay first because he's a heavyweight, Ruiz is, or do you think it's, that decision would be totally up to you to have 2 separate heavyweights?
Out of common courtesy and our friendship and relationship that I have with Tyson Fury, and almost pretty much with any other fighter on this top level like that. If these guys weren't top level, then I wouldn't really ask about that. But these are top level fighters, so I do owe that to Tyson Fury. I would owe that to anybody on that level as a respect thing, to talk to them about training somebody else in that division. I've had that same thing with the Dazn Stevenson, where somebody in the light heavyweight division wanted me to work with him, and downstairs he said he was fine with it. So I definitely would recommend it for anybody else. Yeah, that's something you would have to ask. Emanuel trained Vladimir Klitschko and never got to work completely, with Tyson Fury, and one of the reasons was because of that. He has so much more obligations to Vladimir Klitschko and their, for what they build in their career and their relationship. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to train somebody else too on a top level. they have plans already to win all the belts and things like that. So, I mean, training somebody else, I mean, how far can you really go with that other person? And how fair would it be to, you know, the fighters that you're training and that you made plans with to, you know, start new plans with somebody else? It could be taken in certain ways to like, oh, maybe you're not fully for me. You're trying to help this other person out instead of me. Oh, yeah. I would definitely talk to Tyson Fury about it.
All right. Well, Mr. Hill, man, thanks again for your time, man. Thank you. And until the next one, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Steward.
Okay, thank you. It was good talking to you. And anytime I'm available, we can talk.
For sure, man. Appreciate
Talking only
it.
makes me better.
Oh, man, thank you. You being on the show only makes it better, so thank you.
Nah, don't do that to me. You have me on the show makes me better. I'm going to flip it on
you. Well, all right, man. We'll take it. There you go. Thank you for all those. There you have it. World-renowned trainer Sugar Hill Steward helped Tyson Fury to a historical victory over Deontay Wilder, and said to be training him for the July 18th rematch. We definitely went over on the interview, so just waiting now on Kevin and Jermaine Franklin. I actually don't want to hit Franklin because he was scheduled for 10. I was trying to bump him back to 10:30, slide in Kevin Cunningham, who was supposed to be 9:30 for 10. Kevin hasn't answered back. So I don't even know what to do, because the last thing I want to do is call now Jermaine, get him on after I've already texted Kevin, and then Kevin's like, yeah, I'm free. So, yeah, man, we're going to go out to some of these callers, but before I do
Real
that.
quick, though. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, before I do that, what'd you think?
Yeah, man. What an interview. All I'll say is that if you came on late, or if you're coming on just now, go back and listen to that whole interview. Just the things he said, you know, the fact that he put that out there and he said, you know, if that was my fighter, I would advise him not to take. He's talking about Wilder. Advise him not to take that fight so soon. And I agree. I agree with him. I think that he's right, and I think that he's not looking at it from a cocky standpoint or like, oh, you don't want it with us type of thing. He's honestly concerned for him, and you know, he came
but
off
that's
so genuine.
that's why I brushed that off, bro, and I came back with the AJ question because we all were concerned for AJ. I mean, look. You know, you can sit here. You can sit here in retrospect and act like, oh no, the win over Wilder isn't that. I mean, is more devastating. But like, come on, bro. We never seen AJ get handed like that. Wilder Fury's on the same level. That's 1 and 2. Like, you know, you know, this dude was 20-0. I mean, 20-1, and he did that. So we all had those same questions, and he turned around and was able to bounce back from it. So I'm not mad at anyone asking these same questions about Wilder because, bruh, we posed them all for AJ, and they're legitimate. When you suffer a loss like that, you know, you gotta wonder. Look, I've already said it, and I feel like it's caught in steam. Plenty of people, you know, in the business are starting to say like he should fight Ruiz. You know, you fight Ruiz, that's even a pay-per-view, bruh. 2 former champions. Both coming off losses to champions, straight to pay-per-view, rebuild. But that's what I told AJ to do. I gave AJ a softer route. I said AJ could fight fucking, I think it was Dave Allen, Derek Chisora, David Price, and sell out and still come back because he could. Those are the people that they are. There's no reason to rush other than get back. But that's dangerous. You know, that's dangerous. Get back is dangerous. You know, I want it to work out, man. You know, so I'm hoping for the best. But, still no messages.
But overall, you know, it was just a really solid interview, and he gave us a lot of insight. And man, it's crazy. This is a second. Well, it's not crazy. Here's the thing, and I'm so glad I remembered to say this. Okay, so we've had 2 world-renowned trainers on, and both of them have basically said that they don't watch film. I mean, not much film. Very minimal, we'll say. And they've both said that there's no reason to train a fighter for a specific fighter. I think that's a little hyperbole. I don't really think they mean it that way. But I also would like to mention, though, that that's exactly the Kronk style mind of thinking. You know what I mean? To go out there and get yours. So I can see that. And then you have Buddy McGirt, who's an old school type of guy. So I can see that from him too. So even though there might be this narrative being built, if you're listening show after show and you're listening to these interviews, that narrative might be there. I think that it's because of who we're talking to. You know what I mean? And their style of training and what they like in a fighter and boxing and so, you know, I just wanted to put that out there because there are a lot of people that do watch film, and there are a lot of really great trainers that think that you do have to train somebody specifically. And again, I believe that they're using a little hyperbole there. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because it caught me by surprise a couple times. You know, some of how nonchalant they are. Both men were about preparing. You know, it's about preparing your fighter, not preparing your fighter for someone, which, you know, that's somewhat surprising, I guess. But it doesn't seem that he's super aware of the heavyweight division right now in terms of.
I mean, he's
specifics.
got a heavyweight. He's got a Dmitry
he's got-
Salita heavyweight name,
Yeah.
Abdi Dabatev. I think we're going to see him versus Lucas Brown. He should be in the corner. I didn't ask, but all of Salita's fighters are trained by Crunk. But let's go out to these callers. I sent a secondary message to Kevin. Let's see what happens, man. You know, maybe we pissed him off by going over our time. I don't know.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
All right. Let's go out to looking like Boomerang in the New Orleans.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy.
Let's bet $1 million.
Champ, what up? You ready? J Mac, what up?
I think, man, something wrong. Y'all cut out. I can't hear y'all no more.
All right. Let me. I guess I'll restart that. Well, in the meantime, let's go to Civilian 11.
Hey man, is there like a website or somewhere you could go to find out a boxing trainer's record?
Yeah. BoxRec, if he's listed, usually has the trainer and how many fighters he's trained, but they're not as accurate in terms of all the trainers. You know what I mean? Like I pulled up Ronnie the other day on BoxRec because it's missing dozens of fighters that he's trained, so nothing's truly accurate.
Okay, yeah, because I
come up with that app though, man.
BoxRec and couldn't really.
The trainer's
right?
BoxRec.
Well,
the trainer's BoxRec. Come up with that, B.
Yeah, because that'd be a good idea. Because my thing is, I want to look at a lot of these trainers' records because I know, Buddy McGirt, and I guess today Sugar Hill, they're talking about they don't watch video. I think that's good for some boxers. Like if you have Andre Ward or a Mayweather, then yeah, maybe not watching video will work, but. I think you're putting your fighter's life in danger. Like Buddy McGirt had a fighter that died in the ring. And if you're not putting forth that due diligence to check out the opponent, some opponents may not have video because they're so new or so fresh. They probably, haven't had stuff on YouTube. But I think you're putting your fighter at a disadvantage. You're putting their life at it in harm's way.
Cut it.
Civilian 11, that's a question you should start asking trainers. Look, we got Kevin Cunningham scheduled. We got a post out right now on Patreon. Ask Kevin Cunningham a question. Maybe that's something you should start asking all trainers and, start compiling your answers. Get a little consensus because we definitely interview trainers around here. We're going out to Mike in Connecticut. Good morning.
What's going on, Ness? What up, Mario? Great interview, man. Hey Ness, man. I just got a question, bro. How come when AJ lost, you posted a bunch of memes? You know what I'm saying? And you really went in on AJ.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
You put out the bat. Hold on, let me finish.
No, but we get the gist, right? We get the gist.
No, wait, let me just finish. When Deontay Wilder loses, you put out the bat signal and call a bunch of trainers to try to get him, you know what I'm saying, some expertise help.
All right, so, Mike, no offense, but obviously you're not that bright. How many times has AJ been on this show? Okay. How much support has AJ shown this show? Okay. So who do I have a relationship with? Okay. So do you treat a stranger the way that you treat your friend? Or do you treat your son the way that you treat your friend? Or do you treat your father the way that you treat your son? Or the way that you treat your friend? It's different treatment for everyone, brother. I'm being definitely respectful to my friend who's been, I don't know, helping my brand grow for the last 6 years. Absolutely. If you cannot see that, something's wrong with you. Has AJ come on here, regardless of the millions of messages we've sent him? No, you sound ridiculous, bro. Of course my loyalty is to Wilder. I mean, anybody that thinks otherwise is stupid. Like, you know, like, what am I not supposed to say that the dude that's allowed me to go to his training camps for the last 6 years I've built some sort of relationship with? Of course not. It would be insane for me not to build a relationship with a dude that I've been to that many camps. Remember, 7 days, 5 days at a time, too. Like, come on, bro. Use your brain. Brandon, North Carolina.
Oh, man. Got coming soon. Hey, Ness. Hey, good interview. What's going on, Mario? Hey, Mario, Ness, DR. Hey, but yo, listen. I think that what we fail to realize when people when you ask people about, well, why did AJ this and that? Well, you know, AJ, he was winning that fight, and he also knocked Ruiz down. So you keep comparing the two fights when there's no comparison to the fight. I mean, Wilder was losing since the first fight. So he's probably won, 3 rounds since the first fight? Out of 19 rounds? So there's 2 different comparisons to different fighters. I think we can't compare the two fights. But good interview and good stuff, man. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
DR 2020.
I know someone just said, Nez, don't explain nothing to them, but I have to. So someone else said, something about unbiased reporting is whatever. So tell that to Charlo, who doesn't talk to me anymore because I gave a bit of criticism in his fight with Trout, where he won. Okay? Tell that to Earl, who no longer comes on the show, doesn't speak to me, blocked us on Instagram because I said that a pay-per-view with him and Mikey would fail because we should have known better. And I fucking knew better. It was a straight ass kicking. Only the stupid people thought it was fucking competitive.
Yo, ask me because
bro, listen, these dudes are more sensitive than your girlfriend.
Here's what's funny though. Deontay Wilder, what was it, about a year ago now, made it very clear that he wasn't a fan of mine. And he said some things. You got me back on the show. You know what I'm saying? You're not catering to this man. You know that I'm going to be critical of him and his skill set. You know that I'm going to pick against him a lot of the times against the top heavyweights in the world, including Dillian White and Fury and Joshua. And I'm on the show. So, you know, it's
the list of people go on and on. Where's Eddie at? Because I called him on his bullshit when he was on the show, and I got Finkel, Wilder, and Tyson on. Where's he at? What are y'all talking about? Impartial, be this, be that. Fuck off. Go tell that shit to Coogan when he taking 2-hour car rides with Eddie. Or is that not showing bias? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all pick and choose whose cock y'all blowing. Beat it. We're going out to my Boomeranga in the UK. What up?
To this day,
Oh yeah.
Sing along if you know the words. Come on.
Yo, what's going on, Ness? What's going on?
What up? What up,
Mario?
What up?
Yeah, listen, I don't have a problem with your bias for Wilder. Yeah, you're entitled to you have your bias for him. I'm just clowning him. I'm just enjoying the ride while he gets knocked out before he gets knocked out again. The one thing I will say though, Ness, you've always hated what's his name, Usyk, even before he had his first fight. So I can understand why you would say that Usyk AJ was not competitive. You've been saying that even before you had his first fight, and I don't understand.
Stop showing your AJ protection fucking shirt right now. How are you gonna say Usyk's gonna be competitive with AJ? Arguably 2-3.
And listen, anyone can go back and listen. You were always hating on the guy.
Beat it, bro. You sound crazy today.
Are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna keep talking over me?
I mean, your time is up. You know you get a minute. I'm blessing you. I'm blessing you. Say thank you.
Give me my full boomerang.
Say thank
give me my full boomerang.
All
give
right.
me my full Listen,
All
give
right.
me the full boomerang, and then I'll finish.
All right, let me
All
start
I'm
the bell.
saying to
Let
you
me start
is-
the bell so you can see what a minute really sounds like.
All right, all I'm saying is, when Fury fought all the lesser opponents, and he didn't look really great, no one was complaining at the time. So you can't judge a fight with just one fight. If you know the boxing history, you know that sometimes certain fighters, fight certain fighters and look terrible. That doesn't mean they're not competitive against champions. So your argument is actually just shows sometimes your lack of knowledge of boxing, and that's why sometimes you need to learn as well, Ness. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say is you're not consistent. You're not consistent with when it comes to fighters who turn down offers. The other day I was listening to a show and you were blaming what's his name for turning down offers from Canelo, but you didn't have the same energy when people were turning down offers for AJ. You need to be consistent, Ness. I think that's what people say when they say you're biased. But sometimes,
there goes my consistency on making sure you don't talk longer than a minute. And here's my consistency on making sure to call you stupid. And your boxing IQ is very low if you're trying to compare Callum Smith to Deontay Wilder.
You know, though, the one thing I will say he's right about that might explain.
He ain't right about that metaphor, that's for sure.
I'm not saying that.
That analogy ain't right.
Listen to me first. All I'm saying is that you've never appreciated or enjoyed Usyk, and I can go back 4 or 5 years.
That's not true. That's not true. I gave him a lot of credit for his Tobias Minshew fight. You know what I mean? But that's also the fight that I believe he didn't knock out that dude either.
I would say in the last...
Pull up his resume. Like, you guys are defending this dude who hasn't fought a heavyweight. He picked a dude that literally, I was in Shadeja Green's fight when she fought out of Sierra something Hernandez to become 3-0, and Chaz Weatherspoon got into the ring, okay, waved in his hand and said, "I'm sorry I couldn't fight today, people. I'm injured. I'm here because I know y'all didn't get refunds and I wanted to at least show face." Then turn around and announce a fight with fucking Usyk. Come on, bruh.
Normally I'd spend time and look, you're making great points, but normally I'd spend the time arguing about you with this Usyk, but I'm not going to. You know why?
Yeah, because he ain't fight no one. Let's argue when he fights someone.
He beats some, and I'm not even gonna say that part. But when
he's been fighting the schedule. He's been fighting the schedule because all he's been doing is scheduling, canceling, rescheduling, canceling. Oh, I'm gonna debut in Maryland. Now I'm going to debut in Chicago. I'm going to debut in the UK. Man, get your ass out of here, bro. Y'all holding on to... My man ain't fought in how long? How long? Exclude the Weatherspoon fight that isn't a fight. It's not a fight. It ain't a fight. Tyson Fury fighting Wilder. AJ fighting Ruiz. Usyk fighting this guy.
I think you don't see value in him because he's not
White even for Rivas.
Look at Canelo and Kovalev. You ain't saying nothing about that. Why? Canelo goes up to light heavyweight, fights Kovalev right away.
So wait a minute. So are you now saying that Kovalev is Chaz Weatherspoon?
Look at Canelo slaying the dragon, and yet Usyk is this fucking bum from the cruiserweight division that you never liked anyway.
Mario. Mario, are you? I want to get this straight, but so the listeners hear you because I don't think they heard your analogy.
I want to clear it up too.
In your analogy, Chaz Weatherspoon is Sergey Kovalev.
You're a fucking asshole, bro. You know damn well that's not what.
But that's who he fought at heavyweight. How could you compare what Canelo did?
Listen, no, dude, you know what you're doing. Stop,
bruh. You can't compare what Canelo did by moving up 2 divisions to Chaz Weatherspoon.
Listen to me. That's not what I'm doing at all. What I'm trying to tell you is that when a fighter moves up, who's had the resume and has the credentials, we don't say anything. You don't respect Usyk's credentials. You don't respect his resume.
Bro, my energy's the same, Mario. No, it's not the cruiserweight.
It's not the same. No, it's not.
God.
No, it's not. Tell me how it's the same.
Listen, because other. All right. Listen. Other than today, right? Other than today, I've never said what I said about Crawford's welterweight resume. Other than today. And I did that because some disrespectful, low IQ boxing fan tried to compare Crawford to Usyk when it's not the same. Usyk said, I'm moving up and fought a journeyman inactive off injury. I was there. I was there. I got video evidence to show that I was there, okay? That's what Usyk chose to do. Crawford chose to beat the guy who had a controversial win over Manny Pacquiao, the legend. That is not the same. They both had undisputed runs, but it ain't the same. One guy is trying to fight everyone. He's saying, I want Earl. I want Manny. This guy is hiding, doing faces, dancing in the gym, and canceling fights. He's canceling fights. This guy, Crawford, fought his mandatory. Usyk still ain't fight Derek Chisora. He ain't fight Derek Chisora.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
And
he postponed his mandatory too. Like, come on, man. You got all these, like, I don't know.
Listen, this is a real question, okay? Because I can't remember. When Danny Garcia moved up from 140 to 147, were the fights with... hold on real quick. Was the fight with Lamont Peterson...
Catchweight.
Full 140? It was a catchweight, right? Okay, that's what I was trying to remember.
He had 2 catchweight fights. He had, and again, my energy's the same kind heart I have for AJ and telling him, yo, go get a tune-up. Same thing I said for Danny. I said, yo, Danny gonna move up to welterweight. He better not go straight to welterweight. He better test the waters. I got episodes where I said I want Angel to take 2 fights before full-blown welterweight. And that's what they did. I'm a coddler. I want Wilder to take a tune-up. I wanted AJ to take a tune-up. I want Williams to take a tune-up. I'm a coddler. I don't want you to be damaged. And now the Sugar Hill put that knowledge in my head about 3 times a year is 6 months out of the year. You losing half the year. You don't see your. Imagine a disciplined fighter who doesn't have sex, bro. That's 6 months. I got 4 kids, nigga. I can't see my son not having sex for 6 months. You kidding me? That's some discipline for your ass. Listen, man, we got some breaking news to talk about after this show. We got to get through these callers, man. You seen the pre-pro? Crazy. Troy, Baltimore, Boomerang.
Just 2 questions today for you, Nesta. One, you asked Mr. Steward. Honestly, no, you just made a comment that Wilder was the country's hope. Since when? And then you said you don't like 6'4" guys that pity pat. But I saw some of your fights. You're not knocking everybody else out, so I don't understand why you don't like pity pat.
I'm glad you brought me up because at least this 40-year-old man has dropped everyone he's fought, everyone. So my power's better than Usyk.
I've seen some of your fights.
My power's better than Usyk.
I've seen. No, I've seen some of your fights, and you're usually moving, and you pity pat. You don't really sit down on your punches too much.
Until I knock them down, right?
I wouldn't know because you never got in the ring with me, so I don't know what you can do.
How am I gonna get in the ring with you and your little cart to carry around your little oxygen tank? Get your ass out of here.
I don't have a little cart. That's why. Listen, I told you I was clear by the doctors to do the rounds, and you were like, I don't want to do the 5 minutes.
You said you want to do 5-minute rounds. That's your minute right there. You want to fight me? Sign up like every other punk that signs up. You think you gonna get some special type of treatment with your old ass pacemaker wearing butt? Get out of here. Let me go out to J-Mac Boomerang. See if that's working this time.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, good morning, Ness and Mario.
Morning.
Mario, I hope you're not the reason why Mike gone, man. Sure gonna miss.
I hope not either. I mean, I hope not either. Obviously, that would be a terrible thing.
He's
and that would
definitely
weigh on my
not.
conscience, brother.
He's
I
definitely
hope
not, man. Mike wants $5 raise that I cannot afford. So if people want to sign up to Patreon and help us afford it, he'll be right back. I spoke to him a second time yesterday, and that's what that's what he texted me. But you know, I can't afford a $5 raise.
All right. Well, we got to get together and make sure that happens. I like Mike. I don't care for Mario much, but you need him on here. Like as far as this Usyk thing, I'm with you, Ness. I don't see how people trying to make the comparison to Crawford. I'm not about to go down to waste my call, but like the dude haven't fought nobody at heavyweight, and I still don't have him beat none of the top heavyweights. Anybody want to argue saying what this guy did at cruiserweight and stuff like that? It's a different animal out there in heavyweights. You got 6'7" guys, 6'6" guys in there with a guy who's probably 6'2", 6'3", maybe at his best, with shoes on or something like that. And y'all think he about to go walk through that heavyweight division? As far as the interview with Steward was pretty good and stuff, I think he was already had a made up excuse for the glove shit. And it's funny how in erotic he didn't know what happened to the camera when he was in there. That's bullshit. That's my first call.
All right, we're gonna stay in the end. Oh wait, let me make sure. I got Steve on the ringer tip. What up, Chicago?
Yeah, hey, what's up, Ness? Good interview, man. I really enjoyed that. That was a legendary interview by a legendary interviewer. But anyways, hey, man, I hope people understand that Witherspoon is not even a full-time fighter. He's like a car salesman full-time, and he boxes on the side. So I don't know where people are getting that, Usyk. The heavyweight, I agree with the the heavyweight division is a different animal. And just because he dominated cruiserweight, that don't mean shit in heavyweight. But, I forgot else what I was going to say. I don't remember now what I was going to say. But, that's it. Basically with I don't know, man. Go to the next call. I forgot what I was going to say.
I'll come back to you. And I just want to say something real quick. This is the problem with, us as a people. You guys wait for something to happen and then you want to complain as if for the last, 4 years since I opened Patreon, I haven't been saying every fucking day that if you don't sign up, we could lose Mike. And then we lose Mike and you lose your shit. But there's like hundreds of thousands of you that just listen for free. We do over 1 million every month on average, and we ain't got 10% of that signed up. We don't even get 10% of that hits the like button. So, you can cry all you want about, oh, Mario is good, or Matt is good, or MD was the best, or bring Mike back. I mean, sign up. Put your money where your fucking mouth is, because I don't see any other YouTube channels paying people. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm doing it 7 days a week, multiple times a day, just so that I can pay other people. So, you got to step it up. You suck the life out of the show every day by shoplifting, because it's only so long Mike could stick around here. He has kids. He has a life. He wants to do more. I can't give any more than what I'm giving, because you damn sure ain't giving me anymore. So where I'm going to get it from? Like Spanish people like to say, lo pelo el culo. Fuck out of here. Let's see, man. We going to Stainless. Another dude that repeats over and over the same thing I'm repeating. So don't fucking cry that Mike ain't here. Look at yourself in the mirror for being cheap. $3 fucking a month you don't pay, but you're here every day. Every day. No other podcast got as many reviews or views as this one. But you can't give $3 so that Mike could be here. But you're mad. Get your dumb ass out of here. Stainless, talk to me, brother.
Murder, mayhem, last words of the stainless. Told you I would kill you, squeeze after I aim it. If you're talking money, then you're speaking my language. Or shut the fuck up and grown folks' conversation.
Yo, TBV, what's good?
What up?
Yo, man, that's sad news to hear about Mike, man. Especially from a motherfucker like me that's been a Boomerang Patreon for like 3 years now. And been telling y'all niggas that if you not on Patreon, it's because you stupid. So I'm going to stop calling y'all niggas and I'm going to start calling y'all stupid. So to all y'all stupid motherfuckers listening all over the world that ain't got $3 in your pocket, I don't even know what the fuck to call you on that shit, man. You could buy a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? You could buy them cats a cup of coffee, man. This $3 is the cheapest tier. So it's a bunch of y'all that could have been on Patreon that's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to get into the mic thing. You know, that's sad and a little upsetting to hear. But we got to do what we got to do and keep moving forward. Or do what we can to get that man back. So if you listening right now, get your stupid ass on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Just get the $3 tier. You know what I'm saying? Get the $5 tier. Get the $10 tier. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford a lot, I get that. I ain't trying to ask you to come outside yourself. But at least, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got $3, man. And you shouldn't even be on YouTube or have a phone or some other shit. But I didn't really get to hear the interview, so I'm gonna have to go back to listen to that. But it's on the Boxing Voice, so I know it's a good interview. And back to my campaign for 2020. You know what I'm saying? TBV on Joe Rogan, on Breakfast Club, on Sway in the Morning. I wasn't playing about that shit either, man. Y'all playing yourselves though, man. Y'all need to start doing that. You know what I'm saying? That really bothered me right there to hear that, you know, to wake up to some news like that. So that means we as fans and listeners who actually have access to fighters, to promoters, to managers, to coaches through this show, not even showing all the respect that we keep talking about we got for when we in the chat talking about thumbs up. So let's get real for a second. If we gonna be, you know what I'm saying, fraternal, let's be fraternal as a unit and do this shit. As I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast, because this is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, and shout out to El Camino. Peace.
All right, let's go to JTNO.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up? Good morning, y'all. Come on.
What up? What up?
Morning.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I hope Mike come back on the show. I'm gonna sign up for Patreon today. So stainless, I guess I'm stupid, but to this day. But now,
yes, you are.
Oh, you came in on my call. I'm gonna talk to you on the after call about that. But I like the interview. I like the interview with your boy trainer today. I think he was dodging some bullets today. He know that camera got turned off for a reason, but he can't come on here and say that. I mean, that's your fighter. You ain't gonna come out here and throw all the bad low on him. He knew something was up with them gloves. But besides that, oh yeah, I wanted to touch on the top. I wanted to ask Mario. Mario, you felt the same way about? Damn, what I was calling it? Mario, you felt the same way about Anthony Joshua took that rematch? Because I know Ness came back and said it, because everybody kept saying like the trainer didn't want Wilder to take that rematch right away. You felt the same way about Anthony Joshua when he took that loss like that?
You know why I didn't feel that way? Because I believed in Ruiz before, and I didn't really fully believe in Joshua as like the number 1, number 2, number 3. So that's the only reason I felt that way. It was kind of like, to me, if Joshua isn't that guy, if the muscles are just going to weigh him down, if he's never going to compete at this elite, or he did compete at the elite level, he's beaten elite fighters. But that's the only reason I felt that way, is I wanted to see if that was, you know, a fluke or not. With the Wilder stuff, it's not that I don't think he can beat Fury. I know he can beat Fury. He showed that he could beat Fury. It's just that I think that time frame's really, really soon. That's the only reason why I wouldn't want it right away.
We have Looking like stunt in New Jersey. Yo, and I'm about to get rapping combat right after him so everybody can see I ain't lying. Watch this.
Yeah, see, y'all gonna see the difference between me and old boy's voice. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, in the after show, they were saying you were saying I sound like dude.
No, he sound like you because you came first. No
Oh,
homo.
true. No, but look. So check this out, yo, Mario. So I've been caught up since early in the show. You were saying, "Oh man, you know, every single time I watch Usyk, he's so impressive." Yo, let me ask you something, Mario. I want you to jog my memory. Wait, who did Usyk beat for his first title at cruiserweight?
Oh man, let me see. Was it? It wasn't Marco
Doesn't
Huck.
sound.
It wasn't Marco
Doesn't sound.
Huck. It was it Michael Hunter.
Okay. No,
I don't
it doesn't
remember
sound
who
like.
it was, to be honest
All
with
right,
you.
put that
You're not
question to
talking
the
about
side.
interim though, right?
What? Wait. What's Usyk's most impressive performance? Tell me.
I think it's a combination. Honestly, I love the way he looked against Murat. I
See,
love the way he looked
this
against
is
Huck. I
code.
love the way
This
he
is
looked
code
against Michael
for
Hunter.
whoever the hell Anthony Joshua decides to step in the ring with. You're gonna co-sign and say it's good. But whoever like Wilder fights, if it's not Fury, we're just gonna try to discredit the guy. This guy Usyk hasn't shown you shit. You barely watched the guy. The cruiserweight division's been in worse condition than the heavyweight division it's been in the last.
That's not true. That is bullshit. Wow. Okay. Yeah. You know what? It's not even worth the conversation at this point. If that's how you feel after seeing what we've seen over the last 4 years with guys like Murat, guys like Breedis, guys like Huck, and I know I'm butchering some of these names. You know, these guys have put on incredible shows. They've been contenders for fights of the year. They've been on short list for fighter of the year. And you're telling me this division is whacker than the fucking heavyweight division that's been in the last 10 years? That's just bullshit. That's
but
horseshit.
wait, because you just, I mean, you know, you lost me there. I could have, you know, backed you saying that this is the best the cruiserweight division has been in a minute.
That's all I'm saying.
Nah, but you then you said something about the heavyweight division and comparing the cruiserweight to the heavyweight division.
He did that. I didn't do
well,
that.
Well, there is no comparison, though.
He said the cruiserweight division is worse than the heavyweight division was, during, I guess he's referring to the Klitschko era. That's what I'm assuming. That's what he's saying. And that's bullshit. Is the heavyweight division is better now? Absolutely. 100%. But he made that statement that it was worse than the Klitschko era. And that's just absolutely horseshit. The Klitschko era, while I respect Klitschko and I think he's going to go down as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, his era wasn't that good. You know, it wasn't that exciting. It didn't make a lot of money. And the cruiserweight division doesn't make a lot of money, clearly. Well, it does actually. It doesn't really. You know what? That's a separate topic. But look, Usyk has been on the short list for fighter of the year. You can't look at this guy's what he's been able to do in the last 2-3 years and not be impressed by him. So I would say go back and watch the fights.
Rapping Combat, what up?
What up, y'all? Good morning. Yo, Ness, you're hilarious, by the way, to get me right after homie. I hope people see a little bit of a difference between our voices. I think I'm a little bit smoother, but that's here nor there. How's everybody doing, first and foremost?
Good, brother.
I never
Thank you
thought
for
y'all
asking.
sounded the same, just so you know.
No, of course. It's all jokes anyway. But yo, great call with Sugar Hurl earlier. I'm definitely gonna check back into it again. I just wanted to use my time to just tell you guys to just like the page, subscribe, share the page as well. Like, get up on your Discords, all that, and just share the page. It's important. If you guys want Mike back, it's obvious we could get him back in the day, even in a few hours. Just somebody just needs to sign up for a boomerang. It's really that simple. Support the brand, support the movement. Obviously, you see unbiased, unfiltered views here. Share that. You know, there's other pages that's peddling conspiracies that's getting likes out of the wazoo for no reason, and they're not even spreading facts. So share this page, share this network, share it. You know what I mean? So that's all I really wanted to say.
All right, Rapping Combat. Thanks for calling in. Listen, the people that are saying Mario sucks are the same, are the opposite of the people that are saying they like Mario, right? Like, just like people think I suck, just like, you know, some people think Mike sucks. That's just the way that it is. We're not gonna cater to everyone, but that's why
hell no.
We wanted to have all three of us on at once. And then, you know, listen, when you're in the hospital, you have a lot of time to think, and I guess that's what happened with Mike. You know, he was in the hospital, he was recovering, and he started to think, and he decided he needed more money. And that's where we're at. We're at that situation.
Well, that's where we've been too. You know what I mean? Like
listen, I've been forecasting this. I've been forecasting this forever. Like there's only but so long, look, a hobby is a hobby and then it turned into something more, but it doesn't mean that it's a Fortune 500 company. You know what I'm saying? I wish.
Of course.
But let's go to Lidslow, Decatur, Georgia.
Hey, what's happening, man? Boy, I'm glad I caught you. I just clicked over to answer the call. Real quick, shout out to you, Nick. Shout out to you, Mario. Shout out to Mike. That's a fucked up situation. I'm finna get on that real quick. The interview was good, even though Sugar Hill probably didn't know what happened with that camera and them gloves. Hey, look, man, it's like 600 and something people that's goddamn watching this shit. Shout out. I don't know everybody's financial situation, but to get $3 goddamn, bro. Excuse my cousin. To get $3, bro. For something you come and tune into every day, like I do, shout out to get y'all nuts up. If you feel disrespected, the fuck well, dog. $3, motherfucking Mike gone, shout out for $5 increase. Man, get y'all shit together. Shout out to you, Ness and Mario, once again. Mike, shout out to you, love you, bro. Shout out to Baldy, cause he always held the nigga down. Man, y'all get that shit together for real, man. This the best boxing show on the goddamn YouTube, dog, and whatever stations, the F stations they on. I only listen on Skype and YouTube. And like I said, sometimes them folk call me when I might be at work or some shit just to, tune into, again, shout out to Stonebone, shout out to, shout out to all them niggas that be on the after call, shout out. This shit here is more than just coming here peeking in and getting on your goddamn, the little live chat saying your little shit that you want to say, but your punk ass can't call in or your punk ass can't goddamn get on Patreon. Shout out Ness, I fuck with you. I never met you, dog. You understand? Mike, I fuck with you. I never met Mike. I got Mike's number. Cause this boxing shit supposed to bring niggas closer than this petty bullshit we be on, bruh. Get your nuts up, get your goddamn $3, your 12 quarters, and goddamn pay the Patreon. Shout out to TBV. And like goddamn Stainless say, shout, if you ain't goddamn on that hoe, nigga, you is stupid. You come in this bitch every day to listen, to get all this good shit, and your punk ass ain't got $3? I hope you feel offended, because you're stupid. I'm out.
Bro, Lidslow is so good at this. Like, I don't know if he's trying or not, but I would watch like a TLC show just following him all day, just so I could hear him fucking yelling at people. Love Lidslow.
Let's go out to a few boomerangs. Looks like we got Bomb Box in Arizona. What's going on, champ?
Yo, what's up, man? Shit, I just switched my card. I didn't know if I was still a boomerang. Just got back from Orlando, been gone for a minute. The old lady decided to leave and take all my money, so I'll be switching back over, getting back on Patreon. You know how that rolls. But it's good to hear you, Mario. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man. Sorry to hear that.
Been a minute. Good to hear you, but we like Mike. I like Mario too. I mean, you guys got a good back and forth, just like you and Mike do. So, whichever direction it goes, I'm gonna support TBV. And everybody else out there, you need to do the same damn thing. I mean, don't come in here. I mean, if you're gonna troll, why don't you pay a little bit to troll? You know what I mean? I mean, do us a favor. At least hit the thumbs up button. You know what I mean? For the people that roll with this show each and every day, you're not doing anybody any favors, especially 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and that's putting in this work. Come on, man. Show a little respect. But I'll get back at you guys.
Bomb Boxing, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Mastermind in Plainview, Texas.
BoxingWords.com. Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend. BoxingWords.com.
Yo, what up, Ness? Mario, good morning, fellas. How am I coming through?
Sound good, brother.
Alrighty. I'm going to use my full boomerang, man, because I don't got too much time. But real quick, I know people keep referring to the Fury covering up the camera thing. You got to remember that's only a broadcast purposes. There's commission members in the locker room. And even Andre Ward came on the telecast and said he used to have the cameraman leave the locker room. So people are buying into more into that than what it is. But I want to talk about this Patreon situation. Look, I know everybody's on here jumping on it, and I agree. Look, I love this show. I started out just like a caller like everybody else. I sometimes calls when I can. and I still pay my mastermind monthly. Plus, I pay Chris Vegas with Patreon so he can fight in Border Wars. Look, man, you know, let's all help out, man. Mike's a good guy. You know, these guys work hard. You guys, me co-hosting and helping realize that this is very time-consuming. These guys, this is a job. This isn't just Ness and Mario sitting behind a computer bullshitting. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of, you know, a lot that goes into it. You know, it's a very time-consuming. And then when you guys want Ness to travel to get interviews, he's got to get these guys out on the floor, out on the road. You know, covering fights, doing fight chats. You know, it's a lot that goes into it, man. So look, if you can afford it, let's get $3. Let's, you know, if you can cover somebody else's, you guys like to give away boomerangs, give away calls, man. How about you know, chip in another, get a ringer, give somebody else a call, man. Donate to these guys that you love hearing calling. Anything helps, man. Like I said, this is these guys' jobs. You know, I have a full-time job. This is just a hobby for me, so I can't always come in and help co-host. But to these guys, you know, Ness built this from the ground up. This is what he does for a living. This is what Mike was doing for a living. Mario, you know, these guys have to make ends meet. You know, Mike's a father. You know, as those of you know him, he's in a wheelchair, so it's not like he can go find just any old 9-to-5 go lay bricks or anything. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind, guys, and appreciate what they do. Hit that like button. Like I said, man, anything $3. That's all it takes to help. Ness, Mario, even Mike, if you're listening, I salute all three of you fellas. You guys do a great job, and I appreciate everything you do, man. That's my call.
Oh, love, Joseph. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. We're going out to another big supporter, Ringer Status, Josh, North Carolina. What's going on, brother?
Salute, TVV. What's going on with y'all?
You already know, man. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Hey, I was kind of going in and out. I was doing some stuff. What's going on with this Patreon stuff?
Nah, we just need to get that Patreon to the right percentage, man. You know, the honest truth is that we've never been above 38% in over 4 years, and there's just no way to sustain, you know, a $5 increase for Mike, you know, at what we're getting right now.
Right. Understandable. I understand that. Well, salute to Mike. Salute to all three of y'all, because y'all do y'all thing. I have no problem with Mario until sometimes when he start talking about AJ. I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
AJ
Mario's always
sometimes.
been known to be Manchester Mario. They used to call him that because he is a bit of a UK fan. Like, he used to love Khan and thought he was somehow the best welterweight. And then he thought AJ was the best welterweight. And look, you know,
Khan would have beat Mayweather, like.
Life proves the right answers, right? He thought AJ was the best. Fury ends up being the best. He thought Khan was the best. Look, there's plenty of welterweights that ended up being better than Khan. So, you know, everybody has their bias.
I thought it was a compliment.
True. Hey, but on the real note, whatever the next fights that Eddie said could be Usyk, could be Dillian. I don't want to see no matchroom heavyweights, man. And get that man out there and get him to fight Big Baby Miller like he's supposed to, or King Kong Ortiz, somebody, man. I don't want to see no matchroom heavyweights. But, hey, like always, man, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, man. I love what y'all always do, and y'all keep on doing it. Fuck the haters. I'm out.
For sure, man. Thanks for calling in, and obviously thanks for the support. We're going out to Aaron Cali. What up?
What's up, fellas?
What up?
What up?
Aaron,
really
was
quick,
that you? Was that
Yeah.
you on Patreon? The Aaron White question?
Yeah, that's me. That's
okay.
me. That's me.
Damn, so that was a glove question, huh?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But really quick to get into that. First of all, Usyk, when you compare him to Holyfield was the last undisputed cruiserweight champion. His first fight in heavyweight against the heavyweight champion of the world, Buster Douglas, at the time. Usyk, no comparison. If we want to compare the greatest undisputed cruiserweights, why hasn't he fought AJ as his first fight? Well, that's another question. On the glove thing, great interview with Sugar Hill. Obviously, you know, we answered the question if the commission watched him, you know, wrap the hands and with the gloves. Of course they did. You know, why is Sugar Hill telling us something that we don't already know? You know, and then when you fast forward it, the question I asked, did you pick up on the answer he said? He said, first of all, when I looked at Fury's punches, they looked weird, and he was slapping them, and that's what they do in amateur. And then he said, that's illegal. He said this on the podcast. Wow. I mean, he's revealing it. It's like somebody going to a liquor store with your buddy. He goes in there and robs it, and he comes back in. You didn't know what was going on. I'm not saying Sugar Hill knew what was going on, but the evidence is clear. Nez, you need to have a broadcast, a topic on this, and interview the Charles Martin, the Earl Spence, the Steve Cunninghams that have come out and said something against this. I'll take the loss. Wilder will take the loss, but I guarantee I'm doubling down on Wilder in the trilogy fight, and the evidence is clear, crystal clear, that Fury used that glove and manipulated that glove when he hit Wilder. And basically, Sugar Hill.
Yeah, but he said it was illegal in the amateurs. It's illegal in the amateurs to slap. I mean, I don't know if it's illegal in the pros, which makes sense for it to be illegal in the pros as well.
Definitely illegal in the pros.
You know, it makes sense for it to be.
Yeah, it's definitely illegal. Illegal. I feel like I said legal.
We got Ohio Runs Boxing. What up?
What's up, guys? You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. You had a caller over here earlier that tripped me out. And yeah, he asked about why you didn't put memes up for Wilder.
Yeah.
Like, that was the dumbest question. That was just so dumb. And to me, guys like him is the main reason they switch up on fighters as soon as they lose. You know what I mean? Guys like that, to ask a question like that was so crazy to me. You know, Wilder is one of the reasons why I actually got an IG. You know what I mean? And he actually put a meme of mine up a couple years ago and tagged me in it, but I wasn't on IG. People screenshotted it and showed me that Wilder, you know, was giving me a shout out. That was love, man. And I've been forever always down for Wilder, man. He'll give anybody love and support, man. We can't get that out of AJ and certain other heavyweights. But I don't want to be too long, man. That was just crazy. Great show. And I'm at work, so I'm going to get off, man. I'm going to holler at y'all.
Yo, I got another story about AJ. Remember, I was all excited, like, yo, we going to get Freddie Cunningham on. That's AJ's manager. I can't wait. I was actually excited. I still want the story. I'm still being very persistent and not giving up and trying to get him back on the show, or rather on the show for the first time. But we were excited we were going to get him, and obviously someone spoke to him within the AJ camp, like, don't go on there, because how you go from, yes, I'm excited to be on, to no, and now, you know, I don't even get a return. So, like, look, and that's understandable. I'm not upset at that, because I understand that we said plenty of things negatively about AJ. So, you know, it's part of the game. But a lot of that came because he wasn't a man of the people. You know, my questioning was always that. He's just not a man of the people. All my interactions with him in person have been, you know, with security. Like, my man don't roll without security. He never could do anything, right? Like, if he's in the middle of an interview, it don't matter with who, someone will usher him away. He doesn't never say nah. Like, he doesn't control himself. And not to say that he doesn't. Of course he does. He has these people in place to make sure his time isn't wasted. But Wilder is different. Wilder stops. Wilder talks to everyone. Wilder would tell Shelly, Lou, whoever, like, nah, I'm going to do this. I just had that happen to me while I was in camp. So, yeah, I'm not posting no fucking memes. Post memes of who I want.
It's funny that you say that, because I have very rarely come across that. Most fighters, you know, I remember Earl, but here's the thing, you know, are they fighting is, I guess, the question too, because, like, you know, I've had situations where they've tried to come pull Earl away from me, or they've tried to come pull the Charlos away from me, and the guys will be like, no, we're good. We're talking to him. Like, whatever we got to do, we'll do in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of fighters are like that, and it's funny that you say that, because I've seen it, but I've never really experienced it a lot.
Bruh, his entire U.S. debut, that was the questioning. Yes, that was the question, like, yo, you know, the media. It wasn't a good look. The media has always said that you don't really like, nah, I'm here to talk. I'm the landlord's here. He had to change it. He had to make a new gimmick, because that was the knock on him. Like, you don't talk, you know? You're not accessible. You know, and
he went with landlord.
And he went with the landlord. You know,
the fucking dude that everybody hates at the building.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
because he was addressing Big Baby. He
No,
was like,
I know.
You
It
know,
was
I'm paying your mother's rent and all that.
Exactly.
I love that AJ though, honestly.
so did
and
I.
that
So did I.
that
I did.
AJ spoke to
I'm just
me.
saying it didn't help the case that you're making. You know what I mean?
That AJ spoke to me. That AJ actually did everything opposite of this conversation. He gave me extra time. It was his, very female-like security guard that couldn't take my questions and got upset and wet me, But AJ was actually cool that one time and giving me extra time. Let's see, who do we got? All right, we're going out to sunny Florida, man. I hope the more Floridian calls I get, it's like some way
sign.
It's not a sign because that's what I want. I just hope it some way draws me there.
El gran campeón puertorriqueño,
You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch gloves and go to work. Let's go to work.
Hey, I appreciate you coming to me, Ness. I'm just listening, though, man.
All right, champ. So let's see what we got here. We ain't go to Stone Bone. Talk to me.
What up? What up,
champ?
Yeah, man, I feel your pain. That's like I just have to do some negotiating with my employees. A lot of guys don't understand. They just speaking from a fan point, but from a business owner point. I mean, I gave my people a $2.50 raise, but I said we got to work on more things to do. It's hard to get somebody a $5 raise. I mean, to do the same job. It's like you would almost have to come with a new degree to get a $5 raise. You can't even get a 50-cent raise at your own job, but you.
Bruh, I was saying that to my girl, bruh. Like, they was giving me 75-cent raise, and I had to wait 12 months for evaluation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I went up.
But Mike deserves it. You know what I'm saying? And, look, if it doesn't come from Patreon, like I said, I just hope that when things pan out, he's still available. I hope he's not trapped in some situation where now we got the money to give him what he wants and, he's stuck in a job that, he doesn't like and he can't get out of.
Plus, man, I always tell people, man, this is a platform that we like. Just like how First Take used to be Cold Pizza, and then they had Witty Page and Skip Bayless, and then Skip finally found Stephen A. after years. That show was on for years before they got Stephen A. Then Skip left. Now he doing Undisputed. It's like, no, we can't just so much worry about that, man. We gotta hope that you get that figured out, but it can't be much of a burden on us. Like we can deal. We should be wanting to put more money. I'm joining Patreon. I mean, and if I can get a boomerang next month, I'm gonna be on it. I see they be sold out, but we got to stop making it seem like it's a burden, and we got to enjoy trying to help out the show.
Let me interrupt you because I want to give you some credit because obviously, you joined Patreon and, you're supporting, but that's the same thing I said about CYP. Like, don't just support, ask questions, and your questions are actually good. So I appreciate every time you do post a question, you know what I mean? And Ohio Runs Boxing. Like, there's a lot of you guys that know a lot about certain fighters from your regions and stuff, and it just makes those interviews so much more better with the participation of those Patreon questions. Not only is it support, but it makes that interview better. There's things that we don't know, that you guys know. Like, you got a good relationship with a lot of Colorado fighters, or specifically, the McIntyre team, and Ohio Run Boxing damn near knows everybody in Ohio, so it makes those interviews more organic, if anything.
Yeah, we just gotta appreciate it, and if we can, man, just put up some money. Like, it ain't it ain't much that you asking for and for us to do it. Most of us just wasting money doing anything. We super chatting all these other shows and shit. You asking for a 1 month, one payment, 1 month. So, and a lot of people don't know you've been on the back shows, brainstorming on ways to help funding. And I didn't know that's what you was trying to do it for. You know what I mean? So you are trying. So, man, y'all need to give him, respect him for the effort he's doing. Don't be talking shit. Mario's a little weird sometimes, but oh well. Look at you niggas watch Max Kellerman all day talking weird. You watch Skip Bayless say all this weird shit every day. So enjoy the platform, enjoy the content, and let's keep supporting the show. And hit the like button. I'll catch y'all later.
All right. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man.
Ohio runs boxing and asks great questions.
He does a lot of
He's
them,
been
bro. A
asking
lot
great
of them. You know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah, no.
Shit, I was glad that
Dual
we had him.
Ingram. He rarely misses a post. But you know, and all his questions are good. We got a new sign up here in terms of Skype, but let me see who we got. All right, we got to go out to. We never went to Seattle, right? All right.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen, get the sharpest knife, and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Champ, you gotta unmute.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Sugar Hill and Sugar Hill Gang. I think Sugar Hill, he's a good diversion. Call in, save face, make it seem like the gloves is okay. He was probably waiting for that question. That was his job. He got paid $5 an hour for that. Call in, TBV, Deontay Wilder's, the People's Champ show. Tell people that, that's just slapping. Niggas just slapping you with some gloves. He got his hand in a sock. It ain't nothing new. That type of shit weak. And with Patreon, I think, Ness, my question. I feel like it's going to come right back to you, baby. I speak it, believe it, and receive it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep brainstorming. You need a better idea. That one is
I got one, but you didn't read my Instagram. But
let me see.
You can do 2 times of Patreon. You can do 5 and 5. You can make up a new name like Ego. You get blocked on Ego, so just make up a new YouTube name. So there's multiple ways. You don't have to just pay 40. You can make up another one and do 3. So you're doing 2 Patreons.
I'm lost.
And that's my call.
He lost me with all that, but I'm gonna look for this Instagram post. Can you hit me up on IG one more time so it just comes all the way to the top? Damn, we ain't even, it's a lot of y'all. I'm sorry, we getting around to everyone. That interview really ran over, but it was a great one.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell them the truth, yo. Tell them the truth.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo.
Joe, what up?
Yo, good morning, the TVB Nation. Yo, Ness, first off, man, I agree 100% with Stainless said, man, but can I get some gunshots, man? Or we got the Uzi. Can I just get either or?
I got a bunch for you, man.
Light them up.
All right. Got the AK. You know what I'm saying? Want that one big shot?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, we got them. Yo, this is for all the suckers that come here every day and hit the thumbs down. And this is for all the suckers that don't hit the thumbs up that come here every day. Some of these dudes, they come in here and they listen to the show, and then they going to go to their own YouTube page and post what the fuck and say what was said on this show. This is for all the suckers that can at least hit the thumbs up. That's all I got, man. TBV pound for pound, TBV for life. Yo, I'm out. Peace.
Joe, man, thank you for the kind words.
Yo, since we have so many people on right now, I just want to ask something. This is probably gonna sound stupid, but every time you light that spliff, it makes me so mad because my wife don't let me smoke in the house. Is there anything I could get that would like help negate the smell?
I mean, you could get an extractor. You get an extractor.
Yeah, but
and you could go the cheap route. Nah. You could go the cheap route, right? Like if you go to Amazon, you could get a let's say $20, $15 fan extractor. It's just a single blade fan cylinder, 6-inch cylinder. Then you go to Home Depot, get some ducking, You know, let's say a 6 foot duck and whatever you think is gonna get to your window. So when you light,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and when
Okay,
you
I
light,
could do that. You know what? And I have one of those portable ACs, and they have the ducking, and they
Yes.
have that. Oh, I could probably use that.
yeah, because the portable AC comes with, I mean, if you want to get fancy, yeah, you could go on eBay, buy, just the back of the portable AC, so you could put it right into the window, and it comes with the cylinder for the ducking. You buy a little clamp, put your ducking on with the clamp, champ, and you smoking in
Nice.
there.
That's why
Easy.
you've been doing this so long. You got all the tricks. So.
Nah, listen, my office has a window, actually two, but one, has the AC because this house doesn't have central. That's why I want to go to Florida, man. What I pay here, I would have at least, like, if I did what I did here, because obviously I bought this house and did a lot of home improvements,
Upgrades. Yeah.
Exactly. So if I get a decent house over there, they got good bones that I put my own, hard work into, bro, I could probably get like an extra 1,000 square feet for the same thing I'm paying here. My
Damn.
taxes here are ridiculous, bro. That's why my country is the best country, even though it's not my country, right? Like any historian and be out here like, you're American, your father and your mother are Dominican. And it's true, right? But their country, my parents, there's no taxes, no land tax, man. Like, you own a house, that shit is yours, you know what I mean? So you could retire and not have to worry about that, because taxes are serious, bro. I'm paying almost $10,000 a year in taxes over here. It's ridiculous.
God damn. I know people that don't even pay that much for commercial tax. Like,
Dude,
that's crazy on big ass buildings.
Dude, and in Florida, great neighborhoods are like $2,100 in tax. It's just they overprice you because you're so close. I'm like 12 to 18 miles away from New York.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I don't even want to be. I hate New York. This is just where my parents decided to come, They should have went to Florida being Caribbean, but there you go. A little back facts on Ness. Going out to, look who it is. CYP, what up? The return. No? You just chilling? Damn. Thought we had to return to see. Oh, there you go.
Here. I'm here. Here we go. Listen. I know a lot of people hate me, dislike me, but there's one thing about
We'll
I ain't talking about you. I don't mean you. No, I don't mean you. I don't mean you personally. But there is a lot of people. But one thing I always did was kept my fucking word. I did not have to boomerang for 7 straight months because I got a free one. But I did it because I appreciate the hard work that everybody does, even the cats on the back show. Like, y'all carry this boxing shit every day, and I get mad at y'all because I think that y'all know more about boxing than Max Kellerman does at this point, than Stephen A. Smith, than all these dudes who talk about it, because they got other things to talk about. But y'all talk about one thing every day. That's what y'all do. Y'all should be proud of that shit. Y'all should get more respect for that. Y'all Patreon should be through the roof. The problem I had is too much catering to the people who don't press the like button, who don't really support the show. Nah, man, you got to cater to the people who pay you, the people who fatten them pockets. That way Mike can come back and get his money. And I'm going to be honest with you, Mario, you should do this shit for free because you're predictable as fuck, my nigga. Just to be honest. I'm sorry for cussing.
No, you're good.
You predictable.
Good.
You say you rant, and then Ness will say something, and then you agree with him. No, I totally get that. No, you're totally right. No, I totally get your point.
Yo, they've been saying that shit for years too. That is true.
Yeah,
they have been
that's
saying
the
that.
Libra in me. You got to understand, like, people hated me because I was a Canelo fan that didn't stick up for Canelo when Ness would talk shit. Because in case y'all didn't know,
we
back in the
switched
day,
sides.
Ness was not a very big Canelo
But that was
fan.
a long
He
time
thought
ago.
Trout
That was a young
long time
Canelo.
ago. Yeah, that was like 2012. You know what I mean? That's how long I've been here. 2012 is when I started. But yeah, look, man, that's all good shit. Hit me up on Twitter. Fuck it. We'll debate. We could talk. We could fucking, whatever. Like, I'm good, bruh.
I feel you, Mario. But the kid ain't never going on Twitter because with my mouth and what I be saying, man, I lose my business. You crazy as hell.
Bro, I was on there for like an hour yesterday, and I was like, why did I spend an hour on this fucking app? Like, I just wasted my life. And I'm just fighting with people. Like, I hate it, bro. I don't even know why I'm on Twitter, but there's just so many really intelligent people that know boxing on Twitter, but they're far and few between. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of them are fucking knuckleheads. So, my bad. I didn't mean to cuss, but.
No, y'all good. But anyway, everybody who listening, man, real talk. I did it when I didn't have to. Y'all need to do it because this is y'all show. I just came to do what I do. This is y'all show, man. Support the show. Get Mike back, man. CYP out.
For sure,
Thank you,
man. That's the
CYP.
movement. That is the movement. Listen, man, we got guys like Robert Brandt, man. He's still a Patreon. That the fighter, like, you know,
Such
so
a good
it's gonna
man.
take some time, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. I hope that by the time we finally make it. Cause look, all these other YouTubers have made it, right? Like the Coogan has made it, the Ryan, excuse me, Ryan, I didn't mean to do that. Radio Raheem's, Michelle Phelps, I don't know, so many. Marcos Villegas, you know. It just takes time. Everybody's path.
Adam
Mike
made it.
likes to say, everyone's path isn't the same. You know what I mean? Those
Exactly.
guys had a faster path than us, you know, and
Plus,
we
you know-
still putting
you
in the
know,
work.
In case people don't know, Ness could have been sold the Boxing Voice, and I mean that two ways. I mean, he could have sold it off and made his money, and he also could have sold it to help with a partner. The reason why the Boxing Voice is still the way that it is after all these years is because he doesn't want to give up the platform. He doesn't want it to be like a lot of these people that have been mentioned. I'm not even going to say who though. You know, they get dictated all the time when you know so and so matches up with SB Nation or ESPN or any of these outlets. They at that point have some sort of they dictate that person's you know content to a degree, and that person becomes stifled. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience. I talk to these people. I could tell you that some of them think they made a mistake. So, you know, if the offer was ever right, it probably would have, you know, happened. But at this point, either we're going to be allowed to say what we want, or then we don't want your help. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking as Ness, obviously. And so, yeah, man, and I'm not talking about patrons or anything. I'm talking about someone coming in and putting down X amount of dollars to control this content and to have what they want be said and not be said. And that's just not that'll never happen. I promise you, Ness will never let that happen.
Let me get to Caesar in Vegas. What up, champ?
Yo. Good morning, TBV.
Morning.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear? No background noise?
Oh, you're good.
All
We
right.
definitely hear the hammering in the back, but just go for it.
Hey, Paul. Stop hammering. No, but yeah. I'm not gonna be too long. I just want to say, man, I think the Patreon thing, everybody can benefit from it, man. Like, if you love this show, I mean, there's so many people watching, so many people listening, but I don't know if it's just like the hate in your heart, or you just don't want to admit that you love the show, yet you still tune in every single day, listening to these guys go back and forth. It's just, that's the name of the game, and you know, you can't just have one opinion all the time, you know? And I just love the contrast that Mike brought to the show, man. I would love when Mike and Ness would go back and forth, man. And with three guys on the panel would be even better. But I seen that you announced something on Instagram about this lady that was going to come on as a co-host as well. Where did you recruit her from? Ness?
You know, Ness been knowing Dominique.
Oh,
he could explain it better.
Caesar, I'm sorry to cut you in the middle of your call, but we do have our next guest, world-renowned trainer. Thank you for taking out the time to come on the program. Kevin Cunningham, how are you? Good morning. What's up, champ?
What's going on, my man?
I'm good. First and foremost, I want to thank you for reposting our episode with Samson Lewickovic, where we discussed the 154-pound division and its unified champion, Jason Rosario. And Samson mentioned the possibility of maybe Jason facing Erickson Lubin June, July. You reposted that, so thank you for that. But now I want your thoughts.
Well, I mean, it was you know, I heard it and you know, I just, you know, had a little fun with it. You know, to be honest, I just think you know, I think we're probably going to get the unification. You know, if I was a bet man, I think they'll probably do the Charlo fight. But you know, we just let them know that if that doesn't work out, we here available and ready. So, but that's 9 times out of 10 that won't be the route, we'll be going because, I for some reason I'm willing to bet that, they get that unification there, so.
Kevin, let me ask you real quick.
That's
This is
all
Michael
that
Gia,
was,
by the way.
to be
Thank you
honest.
for joining us. Let me ask you, why are you so certain that we're going to get the unification this time when we missed out on it with J-Rock and we missed out on it before J-Rock? What makes you so sure that Jermell is going to take this fight this time around?
I'm not sure, but, I would think that fight would happen, but I'm not sure of anything. So,
Okay.
But if I had to lean in any direction, I would think that they would make that fight. I mean, I would think Jermell would want to fight for the undisputed championship of the world since he's tweeting and posting that he's the king of the 154-pound division. If he truly wants to be the king, then why not unify the division if he has the opportunity to do that?
So, can you, I guess, give us your... Why would you want Erickson Lubin to go straight into a Jason Rosario fight if the opportunity were to present itself?
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I want to fight for 2 world titles in one night? Why wouldn't we want to fight for the IBF and the WBA World Championship? Why wouldn't we?
So you think your guy would be ready for the June or July time frame that Lewickovic spoke of?
My guy's in camp and will be ready to fight next month if we got a date. So, hell yeah, he'd be ready by June, July. We hopefully we'll get a date before then.
Now you had Justin DeLoach in camp back in September. He helped Erickson Lubin. You watched him firsthand. He had 10 rounds with Jason. Didn't get knocked out. What sort of confidence does that give you? And what did you, I guess, take away from that DeLoach fight with Jason Rosario?
I mean, I haven't really. I mean, I saw the fight between DeLoach and Rosario, but I hadn't really thought about that fight because I'm not really, if we had any indication that we were really actually going to get the Rosario fight, then I would go in depth and look at all the fights. But I've looked at several fights. I looked at Rosario get knocked out by Gallimore. And you saw what my guy did to Gallimore. Gallimore destroyed Rosario. And my guy beat Gallimore 10 out of 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? J-Rock, he fought Gallimore and he had a tough fight with Gallimore. Lubin basically beat Gallimore up every round, played with him. So, I mean, the question, why would I think that Lubin's ready for Rosario, that's fucking asinine to me.
Kevin, you said something just now that kind of struck me. Do you watch film and do you prepare your opponent? Your opponent. Do you prepare your fighters based off of film and strategy for a single opponent? Or do you train in like a more general style?
Well, no, what I do is whatever opponent that we're preparing for, I go get film and break down the footage and come up with a game plan and strategy for each opponent.
Would you be surprised to know that we just had Sugar Hill on and he said he doesn't watch film at all, almost no film, and if he does, it's like 2-3 rounds and that's it. And we had Buddy McGirt on last week. He said the same thing. So I'm glad that we have you here because it was starting to feel like, that was like the trend. But I knew that's not the way that it goes most of the time.
Well, I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's the way those guys decide to their approach to things, but my approach, I'm definitely going to get as much film as I can, get my hands on, and watch as many fights as I can of a particular opponent that we're facing, and try to break down and see what some of his tendencies are, see what some of his weaknesses and strengths are. So, and that's no guarantee that he's going to fight my guy the way he fought those guys. But in my 30 years of training fighters, I've always found something in breaking down the footage that I could use and take advantage of in every fight that I've been involved in. So, that's my approach.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up. And the other thing too is like you have like an old school mentality, but you have a new school approach. Like aside from the strategy, I see your kids working, doing agility stuff and doing plyometric stuff. At what point did you realize that was the route to go? That there needed to be more physicality, not even physicality, but there needed to be more like a higher level of training in your camps in terms of pure cardio?
Well, like you said, I'm an old school trainer, and I have an old school approach. But in life, you have to make adjustments. You have to adjust to certain things, and I found the right guy, the right strength and conditioning guy that has the right approach. And I still have my imprint even on that. Because, you as a boxer, when you're dealing with fighters, you kind of have to have keep an eye on what, if you're going to bring in that piece to your training, you still got to, in my experience, you still got to keep an eye on it, because, you have a lot of strength and conditioning guys. They know their stuff, but still they're dealing with boxing. Some stuff works with boxing, and some stuff you got to be careful. Some stuff could throw a fighter off. Some stuff can slow them up. A little too much strength and work to affect the speed and rhythm and reflexes. So my guy is the perfect fit for what I want and what I need my fighters to get, which is to build up a little strength with explosiveness, but to keep the speed, and it just works out. It's a perfect program we got going on, and it's working out real well for the fighters.
I want to switch a little bit because there was a fight that I was totally interested in. Obviously, you train Adrian Broner, or may still or not, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the possibility, since Devin Haney had put it out there and Eddie Hearn slightly entertained it. Broner Haney, do you like that fight?
Well, like I said before, I don't see where AB would gain anything from that fight, because if AB beats Haney, people say, well, he should have beat that kid. The kid is still, even though Haney's one of the young up-and-coming guys, he's still relatively inexperienced with that level of competition in front of him. You tell me what has Haney fought any former world champion?
No,
Hello?
he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
All right. Okay. So, what does AB have to gain from that fight?
Well,
Devin Haney. Devin Haney, if he beats the AB, Devin Haney goes to the moon. AB beats the Devin Haney, and Devin Haney was still young, he's still inexperienced, If AB's gonna have a career, he should be the young guy, young inexperienced guy like that. So, I mean, I just don't feel that that's a fight that AB really needs in his life. But it's a perfect move for Devin Haney if he could get it. But I don't think it's something that AB needs.
Well, you seen Jesse Vargas face Mikey Garcia, and Mikey makes $7 million though, Kevin. I mean, the money has to be there. If they're offering Mikey $7 million to fight Vargas, a Broner Haney fight is much bigger.
I don't know about all that. They ain't nobody. That's you talking, man. Ain't nobody sent AB no $7 million offer to fight Haney.
No. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, Coach. I'm not saying that. Let me explain. What I mean is if they paid Mikey $7 million for Vargas, they paid Mikey, that's guaranteed. They paid Mikey $7 million to fight Jesse Vargas. There's no way, like, obviously they could give Broner some type of money because the Broner and Haney fight, in my opinion, is a way bigger fight.
But that's, like I said, that's you saying that, man. Eddie Hearn ain't offered AB shit. Why would we throw all this nonsense out here? We talking a bunch of nonsense. They haven't called and offered AB a fucking goose egg to fight Devin Haney. So what are we talking about here?
The possibility.
Look, well, don't mix apples and oranges, bro, because Vargas and Garcia,
90 seconds.
That was an offer on the table. That wasn't just talk. And they got it done. This thing here is just some shit thrown out on social media, and if the promoter really wants to make that fight, AB, I'm sure, would have an offer by now, don't you think?
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree.
60 seconds.
And you talking about Mikey and Vargas. Vargas is, first of all, you talking about two Mexican fighters, two former world champions, two multiple former world champions. Vargas has fought Tim Bradley, Manny Pacquiao, AB. Mikey Garcia is still considered one of the pound-for-pound best fighters. You're talking about apples and oranges, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You're talking about
it
a
is
young
apples
hot.
and oranges. It is.
He is
10 seconds.
It don't make sense. I deal in shit that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And getting back to Lubin and Rosario, when I heard Rosario promote on your show, do an interview saying that, hey, it ain't no guarantee we fighting Charlo, but here's some other guys that we like to fight, so a Lubin-Rosario fight would make sense. Anything you hear me talk about is something that really has some sense to it. It doesn't make sense for somebody to ask me, do I think Lubin's ready for Rosario? Wait a minute. Who is Rosario? Rosario was nobody until he just beat J-Rock, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So why wouldn't Erickson Lubin be ready for Rosario?
I think he is.
Erickson
I think he
Lubin
could be
was 20
ready.
years old, and he lost a fight to Charlo. At 20 years old, a fight that he was rushed into. But he's a totally different fighter now. And all you got to do is open your eyes and look. Look at the fight that Lubin has fought against opponents that the other top 154 pounders has fought. And look how he's performed against those opponents, and look how they performed against those opponents. And you tell me if he's ready for any of the top guys now. Look at how he performed against Ishe Smith. Look at how J-Rock won a split decision against Ishe Smith. Tony Harrison, a competitive 10-round decision against Ishe Smith. What did Lubin do to Ishe Smith?
Yeah, you're
Gallimore
absolutely
destroyed
right.
Rosario. Gallimore destroyed Rosario. Gallimore was in a competitive 10-round fight with J-Rock. What did Lubin do to Gallimore? Well, come on, man. Let's I see all of this negative comments about Lubin because it's still going back 3 years ago that he lost his first attempt, but he's 20 years old, and he's a totally different fighter now.
Absolutely. So let's switch gears to a fight
The press and the fans can make the comments and say what they want to say, but I don't see none of them top 154 pounders in a rush to get in that ring with Erickson Lubin neither. Think about that.
Absolutely.
They're
I think
calling
that
out
Lubin.
a whole bunch of each other, but ain't nobody calling out no Erickson Lubin.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Look, for the record, I think Rosario Lubin's a great fight, but I would say that if it did happen soon, if it did happen next, I would definitely be happy to watch it. But let's move on to a fight that is going to happen. I saw I saw a statement you made about the Canelo BJ Saunders or Billy Joe Saunders fight. You don't give Billy Joe that much of a chance at all, and you think that Canelo's going to win this fight pretty handedly. Do you think that this Billy Joe fight? Do you think it was a letdown for fans? Do you think that he deserved the shot, or would you have rather seen some of the other names that were being floated around?
Well, first of all, where did you hear me say that I don't give Billy Joe Sanders a chance at all? You didn't.
I'm sorry.
You didn't see me.
Okay.
You didn't hear me say that. You didn't see that in my tweet.
I'll read you the tweet, okay? How about that? And I'm so sorry. I actually had it up, and then I wasn't sure if you were coming back, so I didn't. I deleted it. Or not deleted it. I closed out the window. But you said basically that you don't see. Let me see. Okay. I'll find it right here. You said specifically, I don't understand. Here, look, I have the tweet real quick. So then you can, and I'm going to give you the platform 100%. I don't understand all the concern about BJS as Canelo's next opponent. Canelo's faced slick boxers and lateral movement. One of Canelo's best assets is the ability to cut off the ring and go to the body and head. BJS brings nothing to the table that Canelo hasn't seen before. I agree with you 100%. I think that that was an excellent comment to me. And so I might have over-exaggerated exactly what you said a little bit, but just go ahead and comment on the tweet instead.
So can I tell you why I made that tweet?
Yes, sir.
Why I tweeted that comment? Because I'm seeing individuals saying, why would Canelo take a fight with this slick boxing mover? This is a high risk fight. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, I first of all, I have Canelo pound for pound number one on my pound for pound list.
Preach.
And I don't see anything that Billy Joe Saunders brings to the table that Canelo should be afraid to take this guy, to take this type of guy with what he brings to the table in a title, in a fight. I don't see where all the concern is, because I don't see Billy Joe Saunders doing anything that Canelo hasn't faced time and time again. Matter of fact, the attributes that Billy Joe Saunders brings to the ring, Canelo has faced several opponents that do it better. So I don't see where all the concern is. That's my comment, and that's the statement I made. I don't see where Canelo could be so concerned about Billy Joe Saunders that he couldn't pick Billy Joe Saunders as an opponent. That's where I'm coming from in my comment. Now, yes, Billy Joe Saunders is worthy as a worthy opponent, but I don't see him coming to the table with anything that should, be over that the Canelo camp should be overly concerned about.
Thank you for clearing that up.
He's a good boxer. Yeah, he's a good boxer. He's got a good boxing ability. You know what I'm saying? I don't see much pop there, so Canelo is not worried about the power. And this guy is not the fastest fighter that Canelo's ever faced. He's not the slickest fighter that Canelo's ever faced. So where's all this concern coming from? That's my point. And I see Canelo going out and probably stopping him in the later rounds.
So let me switch gears here, Kevin. We got a few questions from the public. We got Mad Bent who says, "Good day, Mr. Cunningham. What is philosophy to training fighters? Any names on your roster? Any new names on your roster? Wilder, perhaps." So what is your philosophy to training fighters?
What?
He's asking, what is your philosophy to training fighters? And do you have any new names on your roster? And he's hinting, would you be interested in training Deontay Wilder?
Well, first of all, my philosophy is straight old-fashioned hard work, being dedicated and being focused. If you coming to the gym, putting in a hard day's work, being dedicated, focused, and it's just like with Lubin. I'm getting him to understand that you don't just train when you get a date. You stay in the gym and work on mastering certain things in your craft that you can master. That you can go to, and I can go to this and run my guy into it, set him up for this, and I can go to it and I know it'll work every time. But you have to master certain things to know that you can go to that when you need it. You want to be all around a good fighter, but certain things you want to master. So in order to do that, you have to be in the lab all the time. Not just, today's fighters, most of them, they only want to be in the gym when they got a date coming up. And that's no good. So, like I said, my philosophy is just coming to the gym and focusing on your craft and being putting in some hard work and being true to your craft. That's my philosophy. Secondly, I got several guys coming in and out. Some guys that I'm working with that we're planning on working together, but I don't want to put the names out there yet till everything gets done. But I got several guys that I'm working with, so you'll hear about them. And as far as Deontay Wilder, he's got a team, he's got a trainer, and I don't see the need to even speak on training Deontay Wilder. He has a trainer, so that's that.
All right, we got the next one. Well, the next two you've already answered, so I just want to give them a shout out, and then we'll get to the following one. So George John says, do you think Lubin is ready for another world title in 2020? Which you've given a detailed answer. And Rue in the 504 New Orleans says, what's up next for Lubin? You've answered. On the Ropes Boxing says, what's up, coach? Adrian Broner. Love him or hate him is an integral part of my boxing fandom. He is a big reason why I started following this wonderful sport. As a result, I want him to succeed in the ring while he is still an active fighter. My question is, what will it take to get him back focused enough to get a W and restore the respect that his career deserves?
That's funny. That's something I've been trying to do for the last couple of years. So, I don't even have to answer that question.
All right. Next one from Colorado, Stonebone Boxing.
That's how I'm going to answer that question. Put it like that.
Next one is from Stonebone Boxing in Colorado, who says, congrats on Camp Cunningham. It's exactly what fighters need to get away and help them focus. Do you think these hometown upsets may be due to lack of focus and a system like a Camp Cunningham could help them?
Well, I believe that when a fighter gets to a certain level, gets to the world championship, or I should say even the top 10 level, and gets on that world title shot level, I think he definitely needs to get away and get into a professional pro training camp environment. And that's the environment that I try to create at the camp. It's not a rec center with a bunch of kids, amateur kids. It's strictly a private gym for pro fighters where they can come and focus on getting ready for their fights. I mean, it's down here in South Florida. We're not in Miami. We're in West Palm Beach. So it's just a little ways away from Miami, where it's a lot going on, a lot of distractions going on. We're in West Palm Beach, where it's pretty much a town of older retired people. So not a whole lot going on, a lot of distractions. And, I got one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the world. It's got a great facility for the guys to go do the strength and conditioning. I got one of the best chefs, probably the best chef in boxing. So, he cooks the right food, but he cooks food that fighters that it's the right food, but it's delicious. So, I think I have all the components for guys that want to, get away from home and come to a 7-8 week camp in so they can be in tremendous shape and totally prepared to go out and perform at their best, especially when they're fighting in a world title fight. I really think that's something that fighters need.
The Prince of Power says, how's it going, Coach? How did the Tyson Fury glove look to you?
Well, I haven't really even looked at that stuff, man. All that conspiracy, you go from the Rail brothers conspired with Sugar Hill, then now it's the glove, outfit. I don't even get into all that shit, man. I mean, you what you do is, like I just said, you go to camp, you get prepared, you train the right way and get prepared the right way. You should go to the ring and be ready to fight a hard 12 rounds at that level. So all that other stuff, it was Fury's night. It wasn't Wilder's night. Deontay Wilder, I was rooting hard for him and going to root for him again. It just wasn't his night that night. I think Mark Breland did the right thing because Mark Breland is the trainer in that corner with the boxing experience, and he knows his guy well enough to know that something's not right, and this is not our night, so why let the punishment go on? Get my guy out of here before he gets permanently damaged. and then we can regroup, correct the mistakes, and come back and do it again. So that's how I look at that whole situation.
All right. We got Carlito in the UK says, "What's good, Coach? What did you think of the vast array of excuses dished out by Deontay Wilder?" You've already answered that. You just said it's all about the training camp. Last one is from Jay Lando, who says, "How often would you like to see Lubin fight this year? And who are some of the opponents you would like to see him face?"
Well, I like to try to get him in 2 fights, at least a couple of fights before the year is out. And you got to load it. Me personally, I think the junior middleweight division is the most competitive division in boxing, and it's loaded. So, any of the names. Erg, Harrison, Brock Rosario, Castano, Carlo, Lara, those are the names we want. We want the other names. He's one of the names, and he wants to fight the other top names. Point blank, period.
Well, those are all our questions, Coach. I want to thank you, obviously, for doing this, and thank you once again. Even though we were a bit late, we do appreciate it. We would love to continue to get you back on. Wish you the best of luck coming up. Actually, before I let you go, can you tell me anything about your other fighter? Is it Madero? We have him scheduled too, but he's got a fight coming up as well this month. I'm butchering his last name.
Yeah, Marcos Escudero.
Espadero. Damn, I said Madero. Holy shit. Espadero. So what could you tell us about him? We do have him scheduled. We should be having him on next week or this week. I got to double check the calendar, but what could you tell us?
Well, he's a young kid from Argentina. He's a high volume fighter. He's busy, throws a lot of punches. Trying to get him to settle down a little bit and work on a little things defensively, be a little more defensive responsible, but not take away of his aggressiveness. In this particular fight, he's fighting Joe George. They fought on Showbox back in September. Me personally, I watched the fight several times. I thought Marcos won at least 7 of the 8 rounds. The full-time broadcast crew of Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood. The end of the fight, they said they had Marcos winning at least 8 out of the 10 rounds. They only gave 2 rounds to George, and they fought in some little weird town in Nebraska, I think it was, somewhere. But they did a Showbox show there before where the person that actually won got robbed previously. And then, after the fight, everybody thought Marcos clearly won the fight. Going away, not a close fight. And the judges came with a split decision giving the fight to Joe George. So here we are with the rematch, March 28th on Showtime in Vegas, and I think this fight has the potential of being the fight of the night. And, so Marcos came to me and asked me if I would consider helping him out, training him, and I decided to work with him, and we Samson secured the rematch, and now we got the rematch. Now it's time to do it again. So I think it's going to be a great fight, exciting fight. Marcos knows that he won the first fight, but he knows there's some things that he could have done better, and those are some of the things that we worked on. I know Joe George is going to get ready because he knows that a lot of people felt like he didn't win that fight, so he's got to get ready to prove that the decision was righteously should have went his way, and so more sure him and his people gonna have him ready. So I'm expecting a great fight.
Now, this is a 175-pound division. And just to, double back, you said that Samson secured the rematch. So is Escovedo a Samson-promoted fighter?
Yeah, Samson is his promoter.
Wow, so he must be good. He must be good. How's that power? He's 10 wins, 9 knockouts. Is the power seem real when you're doing the pad work and stuff with him?
Yeah, he's got power, but we've been working on him to deliver that power, even to deliver that leverage, and so he can deliver that power a little better, a little properly, and by delivering it from the floor, because he's got big, strong legs. He's got real power, but we've been working on the technique of delivering the power. So, like I said, he's solid. He's got good balance. And he's got relatively good hand speed. So he's got what it takes to be a real contender in the light heavyweight division.
All right. Well, Kevin, man, I want to thank you once again. That is all our questions. If you want to give out any social media, I have been sharing, obviously, your Instagram handle throughout the interview on YouTube. But if you want to give out any other social media or just reiterate that one, you can do so. And thank you once again for the time.
Yeah, I'm at KC Trainer on Twitter, Kevin Cunningham on Instagram, Facebook. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. World-renowned trainer Kevin Cunningham, trainer of Erickson Lubin. And we're rounding out our junior middleweight conversation pretty good by having all these different components of that division. We should be having Marco Escovedo on the calendar soon. He was actually supposed to be on a day. I be triple booking. I'm swear. What the hell? You know what it is? People take long to reply, and then those that reply get on the calendar. So it's just like, that's what happens. You reply quick, you on the calendar. We're going out to Getty. What up? New York City, what's it do? Getty?
Yo, what's good, man? My fault, I had to take the phone off of mute, my guy.
What's up? Good morning.
How's everything? Yo, good morning, man. I'm on my way about to start my day. I'm just strictly listening, man. I definitely got to get to work. I definitely want to see Mike return. We got a chance to see CYP return. You know what I'm saying? This is some good things going on for the show, man. I just can't emphasize enough that I respect y'all movement. Like I said before, Ness, man. I'm hoping to see the boxingvoice.com and only be on the boxingvoice.com, and that's the level I want to see y'all at, because that's the only way I see it solving all problems. You dig what I'm saying? But right now I'm rambling, man. Salute to y'all again. Yo, Mike, hopefully you return, and salute to everybody in the chat, man.
All right. Thank you, Getty, for the kind words, hopefully, from your lips to God's ears. We're going out to Cincinnati. Brandon, what up?
What up, Ness? Let me get you on Bluetooth, brother. Hold on a second. Yeah, how you fellas doing this morning?
All good.
We're good, man.
Y'all been action-packed, man. Y'all going on 3 hours. Keep up the good work. I've always been a person, I don't just like to talk. I actually like to take actions. So when I heard my boy Mike needed a $5 raise, you know what I did? I went to Patreon and up my pledge $5 strictly for my dog Mike, because I could not afford to lose a bud brother. I remember, for years now, ever since Mike came on, it was me, Mike, and my homies Linslow, Stone Bone, and J Mac fighting for bud. Cussing you niggas out every day, going hard. So I refused to, see one of my brothers fall, at the hands. So I went ahead and up my Patreon pledge $5. Stone Bone, J Mac, Liz Low. We got to do the same for our Bud brother, man. There's enough haters on this show. We need to stay strong for Mike and get our Bud brother back on here ASAP and get these brothers hell and continue giving these brothers hell. But keep up the good work, man. I'm going to support as much as I can.
He definitely went through a dead spot.
Man, I always like different opinions, but you got... Can you hear me?
We do now. You came back with difference of opinions is where you came back at.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have it. I mean, it's okay to have a difference of opinion, Mario, but you got to understand, man, you got some of these people, man, they want everybody to think like them. So, just keep doing what you do, man. A bunch of contracting opinions is what makes shows great. We can't have a bunch of people here all thinking the same and shit to get lame. That's what's wrong with a lot of these channels now. They so biased towards one guy, one fighter, one opinion. It gets, boring after a while. But like I said, man, I upped my $5 pledge, so hopefully that helps. You brothers have a good one, man, and keep up the good work.
Brandon, Cincinnati, thank you, brother. Thank you. We're going out to Boomerang, Trey in the Bay. What's up? Just listening, Trey. I know you just jumped.
Yeah, just listen.
All right.
Just listen and give it to.
Give it to who? I'm sorry, unmute, because you breaking up. You always got bad service in the Bay.
JT and Stonebone.
All right, JT, Stonebone. So we got JT then.
Yeah, what's up, Ness?
What up, champ?
I just signed up for Patreon, so I guess I ain't stupid no more. Right there on Stanley. So now I just signed up, so I figured it out. But I mean, I don't got too much to say on the topic. I like Kevin Cunningham interview. He's straight up, straightforward. Mario kept trying to chime in, but he kept over talking. I found that funny. But besides that, I mean, good interviews, man. And we just hopefully I signed up just to get Mike back, so get 3 people on there. You don't want Mario always agreeing with you on there. That's all.
All right. Mario, you're going to have to stop agreeing with me, man. People been saying that shit for years. It's just that maybe we like the same style fights,
It's funny, too, though, because, when we first started, that's kind of what it was. And then afterward, I don't know. We've butted heads plenty of times. It's got heated, but, I just started disagreeing with everything you say. But yeah, man, these interviews have been amazing.
Sorry about that, brother. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Let's see. We got Boomerang, J-Mac.
I ain't never been stupid, so all that sucker shit was for everybody else. I signed up today, and like I said, we talked on the after show many times, super chatting. A $5 Patreon, I mean, when you can send $20, $25 a month through your super chats, I thought that, it can balance out. So looking forward to some of the new ideas that you jotted down. Looking forward to see if we get that super chat up and popping, because some of the things we talked about, I do see that being very successful. For as Mario, if I offended you, saying I don't care for your opinion, I just didn't go in detail. I do think you kind of talk a lot and over talk people. I do think you shouldn't agree with Ness, but then turn around and try to argue an argument, but at the end of the argument, say, I agree with you and shit. I'm like, what the fuck you talking for? And stuff like that. You just wanted to bring up a point just to say anything. So when I said that earlier, that's what I meant. To all you sensitive motherfuckers, fuck you. Have a nice day.
Nah, man, I promise you did not offend me. I promise there's nothing that could be said on this show that would offend me. Yo, if I ever told the story about the first article I ever wrote for TVV and the comments I got, you would understand that there's nothing you could say that I haven't heard. So, nah, man, you didn't offend me at all. Look, I already know. Look, I've been doing this since 2012. If you don't think I know by now that I'm some people's cup of tea and other people's fucking cup of garbage, then, you're fooling yourself. I've been here since 2012. I'm not new on the block. I know the way this game works. Some people are going to like me, some people don't. But I'm here to give my opinion at the same time. Look, I've been here for a week. Okay. And we've touched on some topics that are pretty general and pretty basic. You know what I mean? I promise you, there are going to be things that are going to be happening in the next couple months where me and Ness ain't going to see eye to eye. And me and Mike, hopefully he comes back, ain't going to see eye to eye. You know, but these are my friends. You know what I'm saying? They're not just business associates. They're my friends. So, you know, we know, like, look, Ness knows, look, here's the thing. Ness could say anything to me. He knows I've never taken, he said a lot of bad things to me on the show, and I've never taken it offensive ever. This is boxing, man. I'm not gonna trip. So nah, man, you're entitled to your opinion. All good. A lot, man. From the beginning, people have said that, you know, I talk over people, and I try not to do that as much anymore. So I'll work on it though. I appreciate your feedback. I promise you I'll work on that.
All right. So Boomerang Stainless.
Getting smart on here today. A lot of people getting smart on here today. That's what's up. Man, I ain't really get to talk on the topic either. I guess that's something on the show that we should have paid attention to. But it's not important to me right now.
Better, Stainless.
So I ain't even. Yeah. It's a lot of. Yeah, we still got it though. But you know what I'm saying. We gotta get smarter, man. I'ma even do that. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Maurice gave a good idea right there. So I think it's a $3 and a $5 tier. You know what I'm saying? I can't go $5 above because that would take me into like mastermind a pound for pound. That's like double damn near. So I can offer $3 or $5, you know what I'm saying, to whoever want it, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you got it and you want it to match me, and we'll get somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck if you're a Border Wars fighter, but you ain't on Patreon like that, or you want to get in Border Wars and you ain't on Patreon. Whatever reason you got, man. A $3 or $5 tier, man, that's we'll work that shit out. You know what I'm saying? I can do that a month. You know what I'm saying? It's just $3 or $5 more. And if you are in the live chat, because y'all been arguing with me about this Patreon shit, these guys, y'all just looking at Ness, Mario, and Mike. But there are interns. There are people that are, you know what I'm saying, you got to pay for press passes. You know what I'm saying? The work that they do, the research that they do off this clock, setting up those interviews, calling and hounding people. All that shit is time consuming. And the last time I checked, time was money. So to be, don't get me wrong. If you liking this shit, you sharing it, you subscribing, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But if, that means that you somebody that actually knows what goes on this show. You know what I'm saying? So give these dudes, you know what I'm saying, they big ups and support these dudes because they already been on for 3 hours today. It's 400 y'all watching. I can't tell because I can't update without getting on, but I only see 265 likes. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't 400, then that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of y'all who got time to waste hating the show, but y'all come on here every day to hate this show. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of y'all who say y'all like this show, but y'all can't waste y'all $3 or y'all $5. My boomerang cost me a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still willing to put up another $3 or $5. So stop bullshitting yourself. You know what I'm saying? And as I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up, share this and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast, because this is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, it's because you stupid. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
Yo, shout out to Pre-Pro. Stainless is right, man. Shout out to Pre-Pro. Those guys work really hard. They help us a lot.
For JT and J Mac, your idea, we are, you know, I can't say implementing it, but Rue just sent it over, I think, a day ago or a little bit more than a day. So yeah, man, it's not, you know, we're definitely looking into it and gonna implement everything, or try at least to implement everything that we talked about on our call and all the ideas that we jotted down. Like I said, Rue's in contact with me. I think it's Rue. It might be Rod in the 870 too. I might be fucking that up. Yeah, that's Rod. That's right. There you go. So yeah, but we definitely getting it done. I got to get him back some numbers, and that's gonna be, today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. It's Tuesday. What's today?
Wednesday.
So look, there you go. I should be getting that today, and yeah, man, we're slowly progressing with that. I mean, we just had the phone call, but I'm already on it. I should be having that for him soon. Let me go out to Boomerang. in Atlanta. Might be just listening though.
Riding in the form with a form, 4 Gianos on my feet, and the paint look wet. Every corner that we been, there's another broke neck. Rolling through the city, swag game on full flex. I know you see me.
What up, y'all?
Intrigue was good.
What up?
Chilling, man. I ain't got nothing to say, man. This good show, man. All the interviews good, man. Keep grinding, man. Hopefully we get Mike back on this thing, but that's all I wanted to say, man. TPV, that's what it is.
For sure. Yo, speaking of those ideas, one of those ideas is like, I think he said like a rap freestyle Friday where, you know, all our aspiring, you know, rappers make like a you know, let's say half a 16 on something boxing related though. Show the talent.
That'll be dope.
Don't just come on here with your pre-written bang bang shoot 'em up. Make something up about boxing. And then you use the platform to get yourself out there, you know. Look, Stainless that's him on his intro. I believe that's Intrigue on his intro. So that's two right there. Then you got the great Mario. You know Mario, you know, for all y'all that think Mario's a geek, man, Mario is like Jay-Z for real, man. He done put bars on people already, man, and he, you know, he's fast with the turnaround too. This is probably not the type of dude you want to battle rap because he could definitely come up with something quickly. He ain't gonna be taking a week to get at you. Acapella with a beat don't matter too.
As far as I'm concerned, this will always be my show, and I don't mean like mine, like I own it. I mean like family, and so nobody's gonna come to my turf and outbar me. So if I'm allowed to participate on Fridays, then
damn. So shots fired at Intrigue and Stainless, and I'm assuming Rap and Combat they don't just like rap and combat. I'm assuming he can actually rap too. But there's a lot, man. I always felt like Ali and Dago might be a boss spitter. But let me get out to the UK. Big Nick, what up?
Yo, what's going on, Ness? What's happening, people? Just I've got a minute, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. All right, listen, just quickly cut my call short or whatever. Basically, I think maybe the way for the show to grow in terms of monetary thing, it looks like it's probably going to be the best way to do it will be some sort of form of sponsorship, because there's only so much, you know, like there's only so much people you can get to try and engage in terms of being Patreons. I think maybe the next level is sponsorship. I just want to say shout out to the chat, because I think a lot of people give the chat a lot of hate. People call them trolls just for disagreeing with the general consensus of maybe the popularity of the show what people the general consensus of the show. But listen, the chat's got feelings too, so I just want to pick up everyone in the chat. And also
the chat got feelings too. That was rich.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Ness, you know what, listen, AJ ain't a robot. AJ is very accessible. I'm sure he's actually a man of the people.
Bruh, you know he's not accessible. I remember an interview he did with Coogan where Coogan was like, man, how long has it been? And then AJ's like, yeah, you know, you started with me from the beginning, but who gives Coogan more access, AJ or Dillian White? Dillian White. Come on, bro. You know AJ's not the same, bro. You know he's not the same.
Ness, but you know what, Ness, these people got people in their Matchroom, Top Rank, all these people got people that are listening to the show. And to be fair to AJ and Eddie Hearn, you used to stick it on Eddie Hearn, probably a little bit unnecessary when you used to do interviews.
You know he deserved it. All the lies, all the Wilder is nobody, Wilder's from Alabama. Meanwhile, Wilder did the biggest American pay-per-view for heavyweights in the last 20 years.
But Ness, this is what happens on the other side of the...
Big Nick, the problem I've always had with Eddie and the UK is that you guys are in denial. You knew Eddie was holding up that fight. We could have got AJ Wilder, but he held it up. Why don't we hear about flat fees anymore? Because that doesn't exist anymore, right? It doesn't exist anymore. Keep it real. It don't fucking exist. It don't exist. You know why it doesn't exist? Because Eddie finally came out and told you guys, yeah, well, we're beyond that point. Now it's 50-50. Everything Eddie says is gold to you, and that's always been my problem. That's always been my problem.
It was also Shelley Finkel as well, yeah. Let's not think it was just Eddie. It's a little bit of Shelley Finkel.
How is it Shelley? How is it Shelley? What are you going to take me back to Vladimir Klitschko days?
No, but I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to say this statement to you. it doesn't matter because your man's irrelevant. He doesn't have any belt holders,
If
and we are.
if he
We
was
listen.
irrelevant,
UK
you wouldn't be here. You guys
Listen.
wouldn't be here. You guys are here
Irrelevant.
specifically
Belt.
to troll Wilder.
If you listen, I tell you, let me say this to you: if you have a heavyweight belt, put your hand up because Tyson Fury ain't you, man. And if you don't,
Oh, hold on. Somebody jumping in with the whole microphone out there. Coyote, who's already wasted both his boomerangs. Look, Big Nick, you gone. Let me see who else is here. Looking about like that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yep, that's it. All right, so we're gonna go down the line on these super chats. Wanna thank everyone that super chatted. Obviously, we wanna. I even I just spoke to Mike, but he's doing his post-day surgery, 7-day post. So we'll talk after and update him. I'm refreshing these super chats because I told him yesterday, we should be able to get it, man. Once the people realize they losing one of the greatest hosts we've ever had. Cause Mike definitely tough-skinned it, man. You know what I mean? Like we still want a UK host. It's not our fault they can't, they can't keep up. They don't want to stick around. I don't get it. Let's see. What's the name of this show? I done forgot. Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearn. All right. So AJC sends a super chat just showing love. Prince of Power, TBV, my favorite channel. So an extra $5 in the super chat per hour gets Mike back? ? Yes, sir. $5 an hour extra for Mike is what he wants. Kieran Butt says Dave Allen is a 50-50 fight for Wilder. I think, Ness. See, this is why y'all here to troll Wilder. Look, he wasted $2 for that. Come on.
What did he say? Say again?
Dave Allen is 50-50 for Wilder. This is what I'm saying, but that's okay. I'm here. I'm here. I don't leave. My guys win and lose. I'm here, bro. Thurman, Danny, now Wilder. You know
I like
what I mean?
Dave Allen, but I don't think he's 50-50 right now with Wilder.
Look at Mario actually fucking giving this hard thought. Like, I like Dave Allen. Like, come on, bro. No way.
That's what I do. I give things hard thoughts. Even if like right away I'm like, what the fuck? I still think like, yo, let me just consider this for a second. And it's outrageous and it's crazy. So I'm saying it. You know what I mean? It don't change the fact that I think I don't believe it, but I don't know.
Well,
that's why you like
give
me,
this
like me,
give
'cause
this
I
super
give
chat.
everything thought.
Give
All
this
right.
super chat some hard thought because they coming for you. AJC comes back with another super chat. This time he does have words. Mario, why you ain't show up to Border Wars?
To Border Wars 7? I mean 6?
I mean, he wasn't specific, but I'm assuming
I'm sure that's what he's
talking
thinking. Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
assuming.
look, I was in Dallas. I ended up not having my car available to me. My wife, fucked up. She had to take mine. I was supposed to go with my brother. We ended up going like 7-8 people. I rode in the back of a fucking expedition, and they went straight to the thing. Like we didn't get there till like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, right before the weigh-in. So, honestly, I wish I would have made it, but there was like a lot of other stuff that was in the background. Some of it between me and Ness, some of it between just me in general. But I went to the fight. I was at the fight. I was just I was in my feelings for some stuff that had happened between me and Ness. That I mean, I wouldn't mind talking about, but I don't like talking about stuff that me and Ness or any of my friends talk about in private, without their whatever. But yeah, man, I was there. I should have gone. I've already talked to Ness. I wish I would have went, even if I was late, even if I didn't make it in time. I should have went, and so that was my fault. That was on me. I've already told him, what was going on.
The truth is, man, it could be intimidating for anyone, though. Like, that's why, J-Mac showed up, and it was great. It was so many people that showed up that, like, they get to see the camaraderie and how it's a family environment. We had someone's grandmother there, so when you're thinking about meeting up with these people, A, from the internet, that can be scary. B, speak very aggressively in this chat and on phone calls, that could be scary. So, look, man, it's not just Mario, it's for anyone, man, because we've been doing appreciation nights, and this is gonna be the 8th season now of Border Wars, because we're going live again July 18th for the Wilder Fury week. But yeah, we've done plenty of events, and little by little, more and more people join us and
people got to understand,
help
that's
spread that word.
That's a 7-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a tough drive. And so, I show up, I'm not in the best of mood from sitting in the back of a fucking expedition all night. All night and morning, because we ended up making it 2 days. That was part of it. But yeah, man, like that's it. I'm so glad you went there with it. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't that I was intimidated, but you're right. It is kind of like, some of these people have said some fucked up things to me.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that
you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I know that somebody that said these things to me isn't going to be there, ready to square up? And, that's just not what I would ever want. The only time I've ever met people from the show has been when I'm covering fights. And you got to understand, like, there's a barrier there. I'm in press row. So when they say, hey, Mario, and I'm like, oh, what's up? Yo. And then I come around the press row, you know what I mean? If I can get them in, I will. Like, I mean, not to hang around, but just to say what's up. But that's like kind of a barrier. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that distance that it's like, okay, if this man's aggressive, that barrier keeps him back. And if he's not, then it's all love, and I'm gonna come say what's up, because you know what I mean? I'll say what's up to everybody. I spend mostly the first hour of the show just walking around, seeing what's up, saying hi to people, and Ness taught me that, Vic taught me that, how to get interviews and how to go. So like, look, man, if I gotta say it on the show like every day, Ness is the reason why I'm here. Ness is the reason why I've learned so much about doing this job. So I owe him so much. And, I've apologized for the things that I had to apologize for. And I haven't for the things that I didn't feel like I needed to. So, you know what I mean? I keep it real like that. But, yeah, man, listen, I'll be there for the next events. It was so much fun. I had a fucking blast. It was as
it only
great as I
takes
could have
one,
ever
bro.
imagined, you know what
It
I mean?
only takes one to get
And
over
then you
the
get
hump,
hooked.
and then you all. It's not also about getting hooked. It's it's a different type of environment to be around so many knowledgeable boxing fans. You know what
It's
I'm
so much
saying?
fun. Yeah, hell
It's conversations at every turn. But picture an appreciation night, those same conversations, but then you got your professional fighters, walking around. And that's another thing, for my man, I think it was Mike in Connecticut. Like, there's your answer right there. Wilder came to my appreciation night, bro. Like, that's the type of individual you're dealing with. Like, so him losing could never be an issue for me. Like he showed me that he's a genuine stand-up dude. 2016, he showed up to our appreciation night. There was only like 77 people there. It was an intimate thing, and he was one of them. So, yeah, fuck a meme. You know what I mean? Coyote in the UK with the super chat says, Ness, you were hating on Usyk before he fought in heavyweight. I mean, he was pity-patting that cruiserweight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, my energy's the same. Same thing I'm telling Usyk to do at heavyweight, I've been telling Crawford to do. The only reason I sound like a Crawford fan today is because the audacity of you fans trying to compare him to Crawford. Crawford is at least fighting at welterweight. Usyk is like hanging out and fucking doing IG videos, popping up behind Bob Arum. Like, come on. Check out our IG if you don't know what I'm talking about. I reposted. It's hilarious. He is a funny dude, I swear. He is, him and Gennady, they got that, like, I don't know English charm, you know what I mean? Aaron Jones with the super chat says, bring Mike back. That is the goal. Clifford Fetus, open up the boomerangs. See, the problem with opening up boomerangs is now we got 40 individuals calling 2 times, which gives 80 calls, and now the people that can't afford it don't get the call. They hang up. We don't want to open up boomerangs. It's a limited amount because it is a special privilege. Same thing for the ringer. JT Max says, Ness, can I get a boomerang? Just explained that. Steven says, $2 for Mike. Fun. Keep it up. TBV. Great content. Thank you. Getty, this is for Mike. Thank you. JT Max says, this JT 504, let me get a run back. Okay, so this is his idea. He feels like, why become a boomerang when I can just super chat and that brings me back one time per show or multiple times a show? And he's like, you'll end up getting more people to do this, because if Mario says something and I spent my boomerang, or I'm not a boomerang, I don't have a way to get back at him. But they want to call this particular feature the counter punch. I actually like it. We were on a very long
So do
call.
I like that.
Yeah, I know. I told Rue, I think it was Rue in the 504, Rod and A70 that said they came up with the idea counter punch, or the name counter punch. And what I said was, regardless what we do, we're going to reuse that name. So if we don't use the idea, the name got to come with us in some shape or fashion. So let's give JT his counter punch. Now, they want a minute counter punch. I think that's just for way too long. Look, we've already been on the show. Look, we're working on 3 hours and 22 minutes. That's because I love what I do. And this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who picks us up. I don't want to leave, because then it's, they're paying you to do something that you love one time a week or 2 times a week. Like, bro, I literally got another show I'm sitting on. Like, I just got to walk the dogs, make breakfast, because I'm not an early morning breakfast dude, and I'm ready to come back with this other very important breaking news show. That being said, we're going to give him a counter punch. I like the sound of 25 to 30 seconds, but JT, your invention, live, make it count.
Yeah, well, I don't think I invented it. We was talking on the back call with it, Ness. I think it was my brother that brought it up. I had to go back on it, but I mean, I said what I said. Trey gave me her boomerang, and all I would just go recomment. I sent another super chat. What Mario was talking about not showing up at Boardwalk sound like some BS to me. That's all I got.
Yeah, and we also got to understand, look, not everybody is a fighter, man. Not everybody is a fighter. I'm not saying that you're not, Mario. I'm not putting you on the spot. Don't answer. Don't feel baited.
I'm not.
I'm just saying there are people out there that's not their thing. Like, yo, I actually take pride, bro. Like, I was a bad individual. I got suspended a lot. Obviously, I had my run-ins with the law. My son is the exact opposite, bro. Like, he's never even told me he had a fight. Like, I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Especially not being from the inner city. Like, I don't want him to be in trouble. Like, the 80s are so much different from the 2000s. So it's, it's just different. You know what I mean? Everyone isn't a fighter. Everyone isn't a fighter, and it takes time, bro. Look, it's not easy to get through them ropes, man. Let me tell you, it's not easy, bro. Shit. JT says that because either him or his brother have 10 fights too, though. That's different. See, you never know who's a fighter either.
Well, that's the thing too, is like I made a huge mistake. Like, I started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was 21. I loved it. But I stopped after an injury, and then I thought, I'll pick up boxing. I was 24 years old, trained for a year, started my first sparring match after a year with this 16-year-old kid that was about my size. I was like, oh, this would be good. That motherfucker hit me with a body shot, and I didn't show back up to that gym for another fucking, I think it was like 18 months, something like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit hurt, bro. Like, that shit hurt like nothing. I played baseball at the highest level in Texas, collegiately. I got hit with 90-mile-an-hour fastballs. I was good with that. I mean, it hurts like shit, but there's nothing that compares to that body shot. You know what I'm saying? And I got other stuff. I still train. I still work out all the time. That's a big part of me. But, yeah, man, that shit hurt. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man, look, fighters don't lie, man. It's a special type of person to get in there. And, again, I can't believe that it took all these years to have that sense of clarity with what Sugar Hill said. Like, bro, it's a special type of person when you got to take 6 months out your life. No sex, away from the, again, the disciplined fighters, the ones that really,
exactly,
the ones that, the Crawfords, he goes to Colorado, they get away, Thurman locks himself away, even though him and Porter are both like dudes that train locally, but they refrain from all that stuff. They stay away. They're mindful of their diet. You know, the Gennady used to go to fucking Summit all the time to Big Bear.
Hell yeah. No.
Canelo too, always trains in Big Bear. Now they got their own spot out there. You know what I mean? Like Oscar. Yo, it's like Cunningham said, man. At that elite level, like you want to do that. You wanna, prepare yourself to 100%. But we got some other super chats here. Where we at? We left off on JT getting his run back, and then D the Great Jr. says, I will join Patreon if it helps Mike come back because this dude Mario don't know shit about boxing. Cruiserweight division is and was one of the worst divisions. He don't know anything about Usyk except what Chris Mannix and Eddie Hearn, etc. push.
I don't even follow Chris Mannix anymore.
Why? He's pretty cool.
It's nothing personal.
He's actually doing really good. Like now that he's with Dazn, like he tells them the truth.
No, I'm a huge fan of him. I just I never followed him to begin with, and I would just go and look at his shit, and then I would stop. You know what I mean? So, but I just don't even follow. I don't know what he said about any of Usyk fights.
So Civilian 11 wants to know what is Patreon. Okay, so Patreon is a platform that was invented by creators for creators. Obviously, because of all the issues that people can suffer with YouTube, with demonetization, whether it be for vulgar language, harmful or abusive content, certain links in your description. There's a lot of red tape now because there's this new thing called COPA. So COPA is like the Child Act something privacy thing. So someone's cracking down. Damn, you seen the way I double take? Somebody put a screenshot of a fat ass in the other I'm like, what the fuck? That shit. Yo, hilarious. Damn, that shit messed my train of thought. Okay, so COPA. So they're cracking down on YouTube. Now every time you make a video, you gotta let them know whether it's for children or not. I don't know. Something is happening globally. And it's obviously some federal stuff that has to do with child acts and new laws. So videos are becoming monetized. There's actually, if you Google right now, you'll find a few videos of partnered YouTubers who are letting you know that there might be a lot of channels shut down altogether.
Yep.
Terminated because you're not considered viable. I'm hoping I'm considered viable, but I don't know.
Yeah, and another thing.
Well,
too,
I didn't do. I'm sorry. After Mario goes, I'll do it better because I just explained YouTube and demonetization, not really Patreon. Sorry.
Well, Patreon is a tool that allows creators to gain some sort of monetary benefit away from YouTube because YouTube is so strict, and we're able to use that to in turn up equipment and just overall make the show better, right? So supporting Patreon directly supports the Boxing Voice. There is no crisscross.
So there's also perks, right? So will you hear Boomerang? Boomerang is a guy that now the true meaning of Boomerang, right, which is written in black and white, is you get 2 calls. Your first call, you do not cut the line. That is what a ringer does. I, throughout the years, have just allowed my boomerangers to cut the line because I fucking, know that I need them. They're the biggest supporters. So I'm giving them an extra perk. But the technical, term for boomerang is you get 2 calls. So you get your first call whenever it comes. You go down the line normally. But you get the special perk of being able to come back when you want. So then the ringer is the guy that gets to cut the line. No matter what time he calls in, he goes straight to the front and gets in front of everybody. Mastermind receives, obviously, both of those perks because they are a mastermind. So what is a mastermind? Mastermind is Kenyatta Ali, Castle Hill Gil, Javier from Alabama, Joseph Big Supermax. So it's a few others in this group chat, which outside of getting ringer and boomerang status, they get to influence the show, right? So maybe they seen a tweet or a text from a Bob or a Eddie that we didn't see and feel like that's a good topic for the show. They have the ability to, kind of suggest that, which we normally lean to depending on how sexy the topic is. I like sexy topics, just to be honest, you know what I mean? But they have a lot of the day-to-day structuring of the shows. They get the first of everything, truly. First Patreons, they're first to know about what guests we're having. They get intimate conversations between the co-hosts because they're there. They get to see all that. So that is a mastermind. You have, obviously, the lowest tier is buy us a cup of coffee, which is $3, right? Normally, anywhere you go. I know Dunkin' Donuts about $2.96, for a medium or a large, I believe. So that is the lowest tier. What you get for being a patron at the lowest tier is you get to receive the ability to ask some fighters a question on our Ask series, like most posts are on that first level. A Sugar Hill was not. I don't want all the crazies asking them conspiracy questions, and normally the crazies are the lowest tier. So you get to do that. You get to ask questions. You get to also receive and listen to, never before heard podcast called Untitled that we do on Mondays there, where we talk not only boxing, but everything. And all Patreons on the $3 level and up get to submit topics for that podcast that happens on Mondays. So then the $5 tier is you got 5 on it, because we all know we weed smokers around here. So we went with that little cool slogan. And you're supposed to receive a beer koozie, which I still have a couple dozen over here. So there's different tiers and different incentives. Like good old John Skipper's using to get Canelo back in the ring with Gennady. There's different incentives to kind of get you to sign up and support a show that you already want to support because it's your favorite show. But we try to give you something. Now, I'll be honest. We have people that are upset, like Dominic in Seattle, who one day I hope I just see him and I can give him his shirt. Yo, I promise you, I have 2 boxes of shirts downstairs. I really do. My girl wants me to get him out the dining room. They've just been there, and it's over a year. He's not lying. He deserves to be mad at me. I understand. It's just very hard. Look, I've still been here 3 hours and a half. Still have to do other things. I still want to do the other show. It's just very hard to get to the post office. And I'm not at the level where I could get that little post office thing where you just weigh your own postage and you put it out. That shit is expensive monthly. I looked into it. Everything with time, man. Everything with time. And then, Patreon just came out with a new feature where they will send you the stuff, right? So they're like, look, let us handle your shipping, but they want 3%. I'm already losing Mike, and I'm not giving them 3%. But mind you, they already take 5%, so it would be a total of 8% because they take their percentage for, obviously doing everything and accepting all the different forms of payment and setting things up in a manner that it keeps it private, right? Where you can't just give it out to people unless we choose to. So yeah, I mean, that's a brief one, but I told you 7-Eleven, reach out to me on Instagram where I could actually send you voice messages and you can send me, and then, we can build a rapport and I can talk to you in further detail. J-Mac with the next super chat says, I got 5 on it. Mike return. Ness, we spoke on multiple ways of super chatting and increasing, bro. Get Mike back. We just ran a test run with your counterpunch, J-Mac. Appreciate not only your ideas, your support, and like I said many times, you showing up to Border Wars, helping out with being a judge, and then, coming out to the house, ending up being an overall nice guy. So I can't wait to meet your brother, who you said is an identical twin, hopefully same type of person. Israel Weber, Oklahoma. I got a low-level Patreon. If money strapped, hit me up. What? I don't know what that means. Hit me up on Patreon and explain. Trenton Jones, Miss Mike, hope you feel better after the hospital. He is in the 7-day post-surgery, Joe told me today. Stainless, 7-day post-surgery recovery, something like a visit with a doctor, though. So, yeah, I'm not lying. He was in the hospital, and he still is in the hospital. Remember, Wednesday was his release date, but obviously being in the hospital, he had time to think, and, you know, he's either needs a raise or he has to get a better job. I'm at Trenton Jones, Mike in the hospital. We're at Stainless, TBV on Rogan, Sway, or Breakfast Club 2020, TBV for life. That's actually a great idea. Hopefully being on one of those shows gets more exposure on this show, hence helping us grow. And, you know, views are also dollars. It just takes very, very many views. If we were doing the Joe Rogan or Joe Buttons, Joes are killing it on podcasts. Maybe we need to switch Mario's name to Joe. We're going to go to Chris Harrison with the super chat. Tyson, fist in the wrist, Fury. Clever. That's a good one. I like that was pretty clever. Clifford Fetus, Mike would have read super chats by now. What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry, brother. Ohio runs boxing. My Patreon will be $10 a month, and some of y'all better match me. Best damn show. Fist emoji. Respect. Next one is from Clifford Fetus. I just hate Mario's voice, like he's drowning. Brooklyn 2010 says, keep up the good work and bring Mike back. Thumbs up emoji. King Nello, Ness. I know Wilder is your boy and all, but do you really believe his excuses and the excuse the fans have made? What's the excuse the fans made, King Nello? And what, I mean, do I believe his excuse? Do I believe that the suit was heavy? Yeah, I could believe that the suit was heavy. I don't believe that it was the reason that he performed the way that he performed. You know what I mean? J-Mac says, this JT 504. I said J-Mac. You know what it is he's got JT Mac, and the other one got J-Mac. Or the brother. I shouldn't say the other one. But they have clear distinctions in numbers. I'll pick it up soon, guys. This JT from the 504 smells like some bull, Mario. We went through that. J Mac now with another one says, Mario, you ducked that fade. Just admit it, sir. Hey, man, listen, we all know Mexicans never like to fight slick black fighters. Ant was a slick black fighter. Fuck that, Mario.
You know, and the thing is, too, that people got to understand, like, I talked to Ant several times.
Not only that, but he was bigger than you.
Fighter. Like,
He's
he
bigger
was
than
going to
you.
always take it easy on me. I was never scared he was going to hurt me because he knew he was going to carry me in that fight. Like, I knew he would. We didn't say that verbally, but we all knew what it was. You know what I mean? To me, it was a glorified sparring match. He wouldn't have hurt me.
Ant's a killer. He would have killed you.
No, he would have beat the shit out of me, but he wasn't ever
I'm
going
fucking
to
with
kill
you.
me.
Yo, Ant, you probably would have dropped Ant, man. He chinny. I'm telling you, people fall in love with his Anthony Joshua body, man. Aim for the chin. He been down twice in 2 fights, man. Or twice in 1 fight. Let's see. We got Laser Light Show for the mic fun. Cito Ramos says, TBB for life. As a fan, I would like to see Mike back, and maybe a UK host would be good as well. Mario can stay. Ness, you need a lobbyist. TBV, best boxing channel, and honestly, the only one I can watch. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, I actually want a UK host, man. They just don't stick around. I really, really liked Rafi Dawkins.
Well, at the time of my departure, we had like 2 of them.
Yeah,
and they just didn't work out.
The skin, it's the skin, man. Like Rafi Dawkins, I like, but he didn't have the tough skin. He didn't want to be on camera. He didn't, he had Wi-Fi internet. Then Jack is the truth is also the truth, but these guys need to be paid because they got real jobs. They can't just not go to work in the morning. Or for a UK dude, it's the afternoon. They can't just leave work in midday, you know what I mean? So, but it is my goal to have one UK dude. I mean, it only makes sense. Honestly, it's the most logical thing to do with as much UK boxing as we talk about, how dominant the UK boxing scene has become over the last 10 years. It's needed. They just are not tough-skinned, you know what I mean? Like, I lost one for the Kell Brook Earl Spence fight. And you know, we've lost plenty. We just, you know, I'm here. You see, imagine me packing it up because Wilder lost, or packing it up because Keith lost, or Danny is like, that's it, I'm done, I quit. You know, that's what they do. It's like your favorite fighter lost, he fucking lost, bruh. You don't quit because of that. But they can't take that. They think like it's like I'm here for Coyote to say whatever the fuck he want. You know, Steward Little called in the other day, but he didn't get in, but he called in. Think about how many years it's been. Everybody's waiting to give me shit because I've developed one of the strongest relationships with Wilder in terms of media. So it's like, that's his guy. Let's give him the shit. And I'm still here. Give a
Stewart
fuck.
was good too. Stewart was good too.
Yeah,
Man. Look, you, it's been that way since the beginning. You know, you picked Trout. You went on this thing about him, and
he
lost,
panned
and
out,
everybody
man.
gave you shit, and
He
that was
panned
it.
out.
And everybody forgets now.
He did his good. Yo, Trout did good, bro. He did good.
No, he did great. He did
know?
great. I'm talking about specifically when he lost to Canelo.
No, I know. And listen, I picked Canelo. I picked Trout because at the time Canelo hadn't faced nobody. They was spoon feeding them the Ryan Rhodeses and the fucking Matthew Macklins and Jose Cottos. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Jose Cotto,
yeah, at that time. I'm like that. That's what I'm saying. People call me biased. My shit is historical. Like, I need you to prove it to me. Even
Did
Canelo.
he fight Trout first or Mosley?
Did I like Trout first?
No,
or
did he fight Trout first or Mosley? I can't remember.
Mosley, bro.
Mosley, right? Yeah.
Definitely. Because after the Mosley was Trout Floyd. I want to double check to be safe, but I believe it was Mosley first.
I don't know. You might be right though. Let me see. No, you fucking wrong. You're so dumb. I think that's what they want me to say, right?
Somebody probably saying that right now to me.
Let me see.
Oh, we got a quick super chat from Mad Bent. I think that's a new one. He said, let me double check. Man, my dog's not. So I googled.
Yeah,
it
went Mosley, Lopez, Trout, Mayweather.
Mosley Lopez. Oh yeah, Josecito got that shot because he knocked out Ortiz.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be Ortiz.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Look, again, my energy's the same. People, the Crawford fans think, "Oh, you hate on Crawford." Nope. Even Gennady. I was even worse on Gennady. But back then, we used to have a caller from Chicago. His name was Fight Doctor. And he always used to call him Bum Lufkin. Oh, my God. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, Bum Lufkin.
It was hilarious. Like, yo.
Man, the Fight Doctor.
Yeah.
Where did he go? I haven't seen him on Twitter in a long
time. Bro, because they
either.
disappear when they favorite guys disappear. Look at what's my man? He's got like a 678 number. He's the one that predicted that the Anthony Joshua fight wouldn't happen. That they'll find some excuse and like they disappear because they go on the limb. Like me, I said Thurman was the next Mayweather. I should be gone, but I'm not. That's what they don't get. You know, I said Wilder was our generation's Ali. I'm still saying it because Ali got a few losses. He'll be back. You know what I mean? I should be gone.
I'm picking Usyk against Wilder right now. That fight might not even happen. When it does, and if Wilder wins, I'm not going nowhere. Fuck it, I picked wrong. Oh well.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. It is what it is. Let me double check here. Nobody jump on in the last minute or not. Nope. That's everybody. Listen, man. Just want to thank everybody, man. Appreciate everybody that calls in, everybody that supports the show, everybody that gives us ideas, not only for topics, ideas to create revenue, ways to grow. Everything is gonna happen with time, man. Believe me.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. But yeah, man, Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. We'll be back with another one. Don't know how soon, but we definitely got to talk about this breaking news.
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll definitely get that show in. At Marmugi on Twitter, at Marmugi on Instagram. Anything you disagree with, come at me. We can settle a debate like men. You know what I'm saying? Like and by the way, you can say whatever you want. I've never blocked a person. I've only blocked one person in my life, and that was a person on from this show that was on Twitter that bet me on a fight that didn't pay up, and I said fuck it, I ain't gonna fuck with him no more. So that's the only person I've ever blocked in my life, and I'm good with him now. I unblocked him. Like it's fucking. It was like $25. Like, you know, it was just a principle. But yeah, man, hit me up. Peace.
Yo, UK Rob just hit me up like, fuck you. Rafi's your favorite. Man, Rob know I've been telling him to come back every day for the last 2 months. He just taking long. He dragging his feet. UK, hit up UK Rob. Tell him he need to come back home. Y'all need him over here. You know what I mean? Like, y'all need him. Let me see. We got some super chats just came in. Appreciate it. I know it's all for the love of Mike, and we gonna try and get him back. For sure, man. Jesus, it's taking forever to refresh here. And my dog is just like snoring all day. All right, here we go with the slow refresh. See? There you go, UK Rob. Keem said, yeah, come back. I like UK Rob. He was funny. Yeah, he had that real like sarcasm humor. You know what I mean? Like you had to be on it. Like he snuck little bombs in every day. He was good. I never understood the whole Coogan thing. That's where we like, I guess, unless there was some other shit, that's kind of like what I thought was split us. So hopefully, I would love him back. We just need the funds, man. Everybody would work for TBV if you could pay them properly. Ohio Runs Boxing back with another one. Says, Albert Bell told me you already talked to him. Yes, sir. He's on the show. We got Albert Bell scheduled. Let's see. We got Bell scheduled for tomorrow, I think. Yep, tomorrow morning, champ. So tune in, Ohio. Albert Bell will be on, as well as Fabio Rodriguez, Javier Caputillo trained fighter, and Dakari Scott, American heavyweight, a.k.a. Mac Truck. We got another one from Caesar in Vegas. I met Caesar. Shout out to Caesar. Great guy. Where my beer koozie at, champ? Yo, I gave you more in Vegas. Didn't I give you something? I hope I gave you something. Didn't I give you like a something? I should have given you something. But I got you. I think you got my number too. So definitely next time I'm going to Vegas, you got to be like Cruz. If everybody's seen Cruz with the WBC belt around his newborn baby, he got that because he reminded me right as I'm packing, the day of, I'm a late packer. If I leave tonight, we packing tonight. You know what I mean? If I leave in the morning, we packing tonight, right? So Cruz hit me up, reminded me. I brought the little WBC belt that Danny Garcia signed so he could put it around his newborn. And I can do the same for you, Caesar. All you got to do is remind me, like, Ness, I know you're coming to Vegas for Wilder Fury. You should be packing, drop my big koozie in there, bam. Or one day I'll get around to mailing it. We got Earthquake. If Mike had a dime for every time Mario agreed with, I guess he meant to put Ness, but he went with a comma, he wouldn't need to leave. Bring back hot sauce Gross. Hashtag TBV salute.
So then donate a dime every time I agree with Ness. There you go.
Yeah, man. Mad Bent back with another one. TBV for life. Mike. King Nello back with another one. Ness, can you get Wilder to bring his costume to the appreciation night? It would be cool to try it on and walk around in it. Super cool stuff. I hear the sarcasm drenched in that comment, but that would be cool. I just doubted I could get him to do that. Let's be real. They did say it costs $40,000. I don't know that he's gonna be flying with. I could imagine you gotta pay for separate luggage if you're gonna travel with it, or are you gonna ship it? Just sounds like a lot of red tape.
You probably wanted it insured with like one of those big firms.
Absolutely. What if he brings it?
Yeah.
Like you definitely want it insured because like you bring it. I don't know. So many things that happen, but I honestly like from a down the level. I don't even think he would bring it, right? Because like, he's probably like mad at that shit, like because it's. You put so much effort into that and you didn't get the performance that you wanted. Because had he got the performance that he wanted, that outfit, we wouldn't be laughing. That shit was epic. That shit was amazing. I run across IG. You know how IG is. And you run across those photos, and you always see like very great shots of it throughout that ring walk. The still shots from guys like Hogan or Trap Photos. All the top dogs were on this, you know what I mean? So there's some fantastic photos, man, with the eyes lighting up. It's just an unfortunate situation that he didn't get the win. Had he got the win, had he done what he typically does, that outfit would have been iconic. It would have. I'm telling you. But it didn't. And, you know, bunch of haters hating on the outfit now. I still love it. That shit was fire to me. But anyway, that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Peace. That was the last Super Chat. I'm gonna refresh.
Peace.
Yeah, peace. Bye. Later.